Have another margin of 24 points tonight. Bernie Quinlan, good evening.
Good evening, Sandy. Well, who knows, but pretty good conditions up here on the Gold Coast.
Great
for
conditions
football,
tonight.
and we should see a good example of Australian rules football by the West Coast Eagles. A bit of a downer last week against Geelong, but it won't be easy because they're pretty enthusiastic up here, the Brisbane Bears, and they've done pretty well, as you said, in the early part of the season.
Johnny Worsfold coming out, leading the boys out, the Eagles, and it's a milestone for him, his 100th game. But let's have a look at the Bears, because the bad news for them is that they've lost best and fairest Michael McLean.
Yeah, that is a big loss, because that would have been one of the clashes of the match, Lewis against McLean. Two very skillful footballers, but, well, that makes the West Coast Eagles centre line look even stronger. But McClucky, we've put Retzlaff in the centre. He may not line up there, and Noonan on the other wing, so they have an enormous job. But it's good to see Martin Leslie back in the side, Sandy.
And the West Coast Eagles, who weren't overly impressive last week, but due to injuries have made 5 changes and dropped a couple.
Yes, 5 changes in the Eagles side. Sumich back in the side, which is a big bonus. Also, Brett Heddy. Michael Brennan has been named at full-back. Nichols in the roving position, and White on the interchange bench.
Right, thank you, Bernie. Dennis Cometti will also be joining us behind the microphone tonight, while Billy McDonald will be down on the boundary line to keep us up to date with everything that is happening there. We've mentioned it's a beautiful night, but for more on that, it's time for the Mitsubishi Motors Ground Report. And a warm good evening to Billy McDonald. Bill?
Thank you, Sandy. Well, will the upsets continue on AFL tonight? Let's wait and see. The weather certainly favours it. As you said, a fine night here. It's a little bit cooler, a few jumpers out in the crowd. We'll check the Mitsubishi Motors weather gauge. We can see it's only about 19 degrees, 20 degrees, which is pretty cool for up here on the Gold Coast. Well, the weather, as we said, it is fine. There is a bit of wind around, though. It's gusting up to about 30 kilometres an hour, and that's going to favour the team kicking to the left of screen, the scoreboard end of the ground. Humidity is up to 53%, but all in all, the ground is in great condition. Stage is set for what should be a very physical contest tonight.
Thank you, Bill. You're a very brave man working with animals. Let's check the record. It doesn't look good for Brisbane. 8 contests between these two sides, and it's 8-zip going the West Coast Eagles' way. But as far as tipping is concerned this year, who knows? Absolutely anything could happen. We'll take a break and be back with all the action here at Carrara on a beautiful night very soon.
Hi, I'm John Worsfold. For the best football action in 92, watch on 7 Sport.
Announcing the first international award won by the 7 Nightly News documentaries. 1991's Big Green documentary, Whom the Gods Would Destroy, has been awarded the Bronze Medallion at the New York International Television Festival. Continuing an unchallenged commitment to Queensland, the 7 Nightly News documentaries.
Once a year, people rush to Spotlight for our unbeatable Easter sellout. Calico below wholesale, 59 cents a metre. Printed fleecy, great for wind cheaters, slashed to $7.50 a metre. Semco long stitch frames, normally $27.95, now $16.95. Large jacquard towels, $4.95. Clarendon tri-pillows, super value, $8.95. Hessian, half price, $1.50 a metre. Indian cotton ready-made drapes, $10 a drop. Hurry, 4 days only. Don't be the one to miss out on Spotlight's Easter sellout.
The Book of Life tells us that the meek shall inherit the earth. The Bible also tells us that to give is to receive abundantly more. There are thousands of stories like these in your Bible. Why don't you read one today? After all, it's your Book of Life.
Presenting some of the 2,000 body parts you can clean with the new Lever 2000 deodorant bar. Soft parts, like that little divot under your nose. Tough parts, like those hard-working toes. We do armpits, but we also do cheeks. That's cheeks. And it's milder than soap, because Lever 2000 has gentle skincare ingredients. You can even use it on baby parts, mummy parts, and daddy parts. New Lever 2000, the mild deodorant bar that cares for your skin and all your 2,000 parts.
Many hay fever treatments can affect your judgment, just like alcohol. If you're a driver, allergy relief that won't affect your reaction time is available. Read the pack warning on all medication and seek professional advice.
People who drink too much make me very angry, so only drink in moderation, all right?
He means if you're going to have a drink, don't let yourself down by getting off your face.
If you're drinking, keep thinking. Moderation.
The case hinges on a blind witness.
I'm positive. That is the man.
In the heat of the night, Tuesday.
Welcome back to Carrara. We said it was a wonderful evening here in the north of Australia tonight, and that's one of the reasons why. No bad moon rising here as far as John Fogarty's concerned. Magnificent. So we hope you can stay with us throughout the evening. Now, for those Tiger fans, Richmond reserves played up here, and the game was completed a short time ago, and it was not good news for Richmond. The Bears were big winners. In fact, the margin 77 points. The Brisbane Bears victorious 18-14, 122. Richmond 7-3, 45. And it's a warm good evening and welcome to Dennis Committee. Welcome, Dennis.
Yes, thanks, Sandy.
And a big night for John Worsfold playing his 100th game.
Yes, best and fairest back in 88? There he is. His parents are up here at the Gold Coast tonight, and of course Peter is also playing in this game, and the opposition, they were listed in this morning's press to line up on each other. It'll be interesting to see if in fact that does happen, because that would be tough for parents, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be, yes. It's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles perform tonight with the re-inclusion down in that forward line too of Brett Heady and Peter Sumich, because they were carved up last week by Geelong.
I think you'd have to say that Sumich will be underdone. I think Michael Malthouse, who we saw just moments ago, has already conceded that fact. But he's a player who provides options on the forward line, and Heady, of course, a very good player.
Selections. Firstly, Bernie Quinlan.
Yes, West Coast Eagles, Sandy.
Margin?
40 points.
Well, no
Dennis?
McLean, no Brisbane for me tonight, Sandy. I think a handsome victory to the Eagles.
Yes, I concur. However, stranger things have happened.
Johnny Gestev with a job on Brett Heady.
Paul Harding set for a big night's work. The umpires are Darren Goldspink and Shane Harris. It is the West Coast Eagles kicking to the left. And here we go for the opening bounce. Darryl White's an exciting young player. Not a tall ruckman, but very agile and versatile. And watch out for him tonight, wearing 33 for the Brisbane Bears.
Has a great spring, Sandy, hasn't he?
Yes.
For only listed as 183 centimetres. Very short for a modern-day ruckman.
Well, they did a couple of things when they were successful against Fitzroy that I think made a lot of people sit up and take notice. But it's Kemp who sends the West Coast Eagles down towards Sumich for the first time. Can't get a crack at it. Champion storms through. The ball spills free. Turley in the pocket. Will have to have a snap at goal, and he shoots in accurately. A good start for the West Coast Eagles. Craig Turley gets his first. Last year's best and fairest didn't have the best day out last week, but that's a far better start.
No, he was listed to start off on the interchange bench. But there's a great bump already there by Peter Sumich, making his presence felt early in the match. And Craig Turley, the 1991 best and fairest winner for the Eagles, getting a very early goal there for the West Coast.
Interesting to note, the Eagles have kicked the first goal in all 4 of their matches this season. Riveting stuff. Back in the middle.
Amazing.
It'll be White and Harding. Up they go. Harding wins it down decisively. Ashcroft going nowhere. Champion. Standing start towards half forward. Hutton, good mark. Out in front of his body. Plays on immediately across to Bain. Almost in the tackle as he got the ball. Noonan tries to slap it out. Kemp's over the ball now. Goes off the ground. McClucky's in there. Controlled it brilliantly. Gained about 10 metres. This is what is at half back. Across the ground. Into open space. Put race back. Turley. Confronted by Hart. Ball jarred free. This is Mainwaring forward of the wing. Probing kick inside the attacking 50. Sumich will get the free kick. I would imagine Robert Walls would hate that. An easy kick to Peter Sumich, who you would like to deny for as long as possible.
Yes, Dennis, the umpire was only 15 metres away from that, so a foolish free kick from Matthew Campbell. A big job picking up Peter Sumich. He did a very good job playing on Richard Osman here 2 weeks ago.
Sumich will kick from about 50 metres out. Good looking kick, just swinging away to the right. So a minor score, but a touch. There's Robert Walls. One of the toughest jobs in football.
Campbell to bring it back into play. Wants to go short to Champion. Picks it up nicely and kicks up towards centre wing. Harding is there with White, plenty of holding on. Look at the hands of White. That was quick. Cross to McClucky, kicks towards centre wing. Kemp over the football. Umpire allows play to go on as Matera sneaks it out the back door and over the boundary line.
There's an obvious free kick there, I thought, Sandy. That should have been paid to Darryl White. Guernsey being held.
So a throw in on the wing. And there is White. Plenty of spring. Tried to get it across to Ashcroft, who eventually lost it to Kemp. He in turn to Noonan, then got it back again. Eventually, out it comes to Craig Turley. If he gets a nice bounce, he's going to be in with a chance here to stab forward once again. And another chance for Peter Sumich, kicking again from just on 50 metres.
As I said earlier, Sandy, I think the Brisbane Bears may have trouble across the centre of the ground with Matera, Mainwaring, Turley, Kemp. Very skillful players who deliver the ball beautifully into that forward line. Unless they can put a lot of pressure on, Sumich could have a big night.
Different side with a target too, aren't they, the West Coast Eagles? I think anyway.
Sumich from 50. So far has kicked one behind. Very deliberate in his approach and a far better kick for goal. He now has 1 goal won. And the Eagles have 2 goals won. 2-1.
How does it happen? You paint a sign or digging a mine, and you strain till you think that you'll burst. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic. You're leading a band or shoveling sand, you can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic. Vic Bitter.
Points. There's the time remaining. White. Harding once more. Paul Harding. Good bounce too. Falls at their feet. Retzlaff, a former West Australian, over his head. This is Mainwaring towards half-back, confronted by Hutton. And he gets the free kick, Chris Mainwaring, who was down last week. But really, as he played too many bad ones in succession for the West Coast Eagles, towards half-forward. Big spring from Hines. Knocked forward by Pios. Champion misses the ball. Ashcroft had it in front of his body, couldn't control it. Champion did well, stood in the tackle, got it to Noonan. Away to Bain, who swings it out wide, close to the boundary line. Worsfold, that's Peter, carries it across. A former teammate of his at South Fremantle there, Scott Waters. They probably came up together through the juniors. Throw in, just short of the wing. Eagles attacking. Harding got it down to Bain. Shark did a high floating kick towards half forward. Almost a clever mark. It's paid eventually. A belated whistle. Advantage is paid as Kemp goes over the top. John Worsfold comes away. Brennan, I think, was paid the mark. It was some time ago now. Here's Lamb, forward of the wing. Kicks inside the attacking 50. Intended for Sumich, who got his man under the ball. Peter Sumich running back, a chance to kick his second. He wants his left side, dragged down brilliantly. And away come Brisbane. They weathered the storm there. This is Gaster.
Goes short to Hart. Still on the half-back line. Swings it up towards the half-back flank. Fisted away from Retzlaff. And a free kick will go that player's way. Retzlaff up towards centre wing. To half-forward. Over the top of Hutton. Can he keep it in play? Eventually loses it to Worsfold. 100 gamer, gets it across to Brennan, then Lewis. Now Jakovic. And the Eagles steam out of defence. Up towards Hines. With him as Champion, defending at the back. Turley there also. And eventually taken towards the boundary line. And over for a throw-in goes Brendan Retzlaff.
It looks like Hutton has lined up Sandy at centre half forward, with Roger Merritt playing at full forward.
13 points the margin at the moment. Sole score of 2-1 having been scored by the Eagles. They've done the bulk of the attacking. Mainwaring a free kick just forward of centre. Well, they look down towards Heady, Langdon and Sumich territory again. Elects to go long. Up towards half-forward, a vacant half-forward region as Sumich comes steaming out now. Just tries to paddle it wide. He needed help there and eventually got it through Lamb. Clever kick. Didn't quite bring it round far enough for Pios, but he may have the time. He's tucked in the pocket, pulls it back in towards goal and has kicked it behind. So no assistance there for Paul Pios on that occasion. 2-2, 14. The Eagles, the Bears, still yet to score.
Paul Pios finding a lot of space there. Not a bad crowd tonight either. A lot of holiday makers on the Gold Coast. Quite a few coming down to the ground tonight. Ideal conditions for football. Temperature in the low 20s. Here's Campbell to bring it in. Slightly to the members' side with a kick. Leslie backing back into the pack, Harding over the top, finds Heady. Lewis is on for the short one. He ignores that, pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Should have gone to Lewis. This is Campbell. The defensive mark about 10 metres out from goal. Goes in short. Ashcroft, metres in the clear. He can run it out. Swings it out wide. McCluckey, back he goes. Good strong mark. Kept his concentration well. Matera was bearing down on him. A couple of All-Australian wingmen in this game for the West Coast Eagles, Matera and Mainwaring. So a big test for the centre line, as Bernie predicted, for the Brisbane Bears tonight. There's McCluckey, the defensive side of centre wing, down towards half forward with a kick. Hutton nudged Brennan out. Hutton, the #1 pick in the draft last November. 89 goals for Claremont in the WAFL competition. Probing kick inside the 50 off hands. A battle after the ball. Jakovic knocks it out. Taken by Ashcroft. Vacant goal square. How will it bounce the wrong way? As far as the Bears are concerned, it goes through for a minor score.
Yes, Ashcroft was really a surprise packet last match against Fitzroy when he kicked 3 goals playing at centre half forward on Paul Roos. He had a big afternoon. Probably, well, just about best on the ground that day.
Mitchell White brings it back into play for the Eagles. Going straight down the middle. Merritt in front of the pack, couldn't take the mark. Bears have the opportunity though through Retzlaff. It's going short, and once again Ashcroft will have a shot, this time directly in front, 40 metres out. Bears trailing by 13 points. Ashcroft's drop punt drifts away to the right. They now trail by 12. 2 behinds, plays 2 goals 2. Early in this first quarter here at Carrara. Brennan this time to do the kicking in. Far better kick towards Jakovic, who has it fisted away. Ashcroft scouting once again. Here's an opportunity as the Bears go forward, but no mark taken. The kick coming from Ashley Green, and Brennan is there to defend. Back towards centre wing. Worsfold. Towards Hines. With him is Champion. The free kick again going the way of the Eagles. Was it going to come back? No, it did go to the Bears. I was having a look at Brett Heady. He looked a little concerned. And eventually it does go up towards the half-forward line for the Bears, only to see Brennan once again, the stumbling block. Michael Brennan. Spiralling a punt in towards the centre. Matera, the flyer from the side, takes a beauty. Peter Matera, off like a rabbit, up towards half-forward. Pios there in front of Leslie, couldn't take the mark. Heady's scouting down in front, pulls it round his body, but no one at home, and Campbell takes the mark.
Plays on immediately. This is Green out of defence. Kicks it very wide to Clark. Clark fumbles, keeps it in. He's a right half back. Untidy handball. McCluckey did well. Back to Green. The youngsters combining Ashcroft. Good shepherd from McCluckey. Poor kick from Ashcroft, who's been very industrious so far in the early going, but that was a blemish. He put it out of bounds. He bounced it out of bounds on the wing.
Oh, that was really untidy play. Elena Sokover in the crowd again. She's a regular up here, Sandy. I believe she's bought a house up on the Gold Coast.
Yes.
And was working out in the gym a couple of weeks ago here.
Bain on his knees. Kemp off the ground, down towards left half forward. Leslie was held and should get the free kick. Martin Leslie, the fine player he's been for the Brisbane Bears. Injured against Carlton. In many respects, looking back to that game, that was a turning point. Leslie towards half forward. Hutton going back with the flat of the ball, couldn't hang on. Bain, socket away by Lamb. McCluckey, who's been busy, dragged off the hand pass. In goes Clark. Hutton again tries to ferret it out. Close to the boundary line, it's slapped out of bounds by Matera, and we'll have a throw-in. It's within Nigel Paltreman. So the Bears still looking for their first goal. Harding, front spot again, wins it down, but it goes through the arms of Waters. Matera also there at the back. Now Laidley ripped off the football and loses it.
Kicking in danger, Sandy.
Yes, an indiscretion in the kicking department going against the West Coast Eagles. Marcus Ashcroft's had a good start to this game. Goes down towards full forward once again. Shackey was his target. Laidley reads it from the back. Gets it across to his teammate there in Mitchell White, who goes towards half-back. Could be an opportunity here for the Bears. Ashcroft takes it from Hart. A little stab is effective. And the kick will be by Lawrence Shackey.
And 50 metres too, Sandy.
So that's going to take him right into the square and should give me a gimme goal.
That's against Mitchell White.
Gee, that was a quick whistle, wasn't it?
Well, he deliberately raced over the mark. Shackey was quick to go back. Good play there by Shackey. He realised that Mitchell White, well, he was charging in, and once he'd gone over the mark, it's a wasting the time decision.
Shackey directly in front, kicks the first goal for the Brisbane Bears.
At Westpac, we understand that when it comes to looking after your own, there's no place like home. And to make buying your home easier, we're offering you a special low interest rate of just 9.25% per annum, together with one low bank establishment fee of $250. This is a limited offer, so talk to your Westpac manager today, because we want you to be as comfortable with your home loan as you are with your new home.
West Coast Eagles lead it by 6 points midway through this opening term. They've got a new footy now. Previous one souvenired after that last goal. There's Robert Walls. He took Carlton to the premiership in '87. There's Bain. Interesting to note, Marcus Ashcroft, 7 possessions already. And instrumental in that last goal. Matera gets it across towards Kemp. Kept his balance superbly to Lamb, who boots towards half forward, and Heady makes a very good mark.
Plays on.
Lewis has got it. Well, he must have played a free kick then, because Lewis has kicked the behind, but you can't play on after a mark.
Of course you can.
In that situation?
Well, advantage wasn't paid. He just handballed out.
Oh, did he handball?
Yeah,
I didn't see the handball. Sorry, I thought it bounced out. So behind stretches the lead for the West Coast Eagles. As Campbell kicks in short. He's quicker than the eye. Langdon gets it out of bounds. Mine, not yours, Bill. So a throw in just inside the attacking 50. Carl Langdon. Ruckman back to back. Hines got a hand to it. This is Kemp from about 48 metres out. Good looking effort. It's swinging back. Touched right on the line, I fancy. Through for a minor score. Well done by Matthew Campbell. Body to body and just reaching out to get a hand on that ball. So 2-4. Players 1-2. The Eagles getting the first couple of goals. The Bears their first just moments ago. Campbell goes in short. This is Hart. Up towards half back. They're going very wide, the Bears, at the present time. Intended for Gastiff. This is Lewis. Forward of the wing, a little chip pass out wide. Mainwaring dropped it. Down goes Hart. Lewis did very well, showed a lot of aggression. McClucky leads towards the boundary line, can't control it. It spills out of bounds.
He's lost a finger in the process. Hello, Melbourne. So a throw in on the right half forward flank for the West Coast Eagles. Champion wins it to Bain. Up towards the centre wing. Hutton had front spot but couldn't complete the mark. Opportunity now for the Bears through Nigel Palfreyman. Further forward to White. Looks more promising. Hutton, 1-2 grabs, and it's his just outside 50. He wants to go on with it quickly. Hutton up towards half forward, a centering kick. No mark taken. Shackey's got to give chase. He's got to beat numbers. He can't. Laidley gets it out to Kemp. There's little time to steady as he sneaks up towards centre wing. Leslie chasing. The boundary line may beat him. Turley is with him now, but he's bundled over the line. And the throw-in on centre wing.
Dennis, did Hutton play much football at centre-half forward in the West?
No, very little. Started as a defender, actually, and went to full forward.
He seems to be playing very well there. He's only kicked 5 goals in the first 3 matches at full forward. But moving a lot better at centre-half forward.
Holding on, going against the Eagles. Steve McClucky across to Leslie. Up over centre wing. Michael Brennan heads towards the boundary line, but Turley cuts it off, gives it back to Brennan. Now Waters. Again, back to half forward. Heady had front spot, couldn't complete the mark. Hines at the bottom of the pack. And it's bottled up there. And another bounce. So the Eagles kicking with what breeze there is here at Carrara tonight. It's a very pleasant night.
Carl Langdon off already, Sandy. He's been replaced by Trent Nichols.
Former Tiger. Trent Nichols, of course, the Tigers' reserves. Not having a happy time up here this evening. They went down by some 77 points to the Bears. Trent looking for his first touch, gets it, but goes nowhere. Still on left half forward for the West Coast Eagles. Hines and champion Jocelyn. Hines, a triple premiership player with Port Adelaide in the South Australian National Football League. Looks pretty fit this season. Leslie and Lewis clash. Again, Nichols burrowing in at the bottom of the pack. Can't get out. And another bounce. Eight plays 16. The Eagles lead. Champion using the left hand. Pios close to the boundary line. Is bundled over once more. And the good news is there is a considerably bigger crowd here tonight than the one that witnessed the clash against Fitzroy.
And they're making some noise, Sam.
Yes, which is very encouraging. Still on half forward, champion on all fours. It's kicked high towards the boundary line once again. Clark tries to keep it in, but it goes straight to Harding on to Kemp. He's clean bowled. They may get out of it. Advantage is going to be paid. Now look at White. He can run. Licks to give the hand pass to Bain, then does the shepherding, keeping Lamb out of the way. Well done by Bain as he kicks up towards half forward, and Merritt takes the mark. Plays on quickly. Hart kicks long in towards full forward, but Waters is there to take the mark.
Yes, but to no one, Sandy.
Yep.
I know they're trying to get the quick hand pass on and the team play going, but the player who receives a hand pass, if he's kicking under pressure to no one, well, it's really of no advantage.
Waters. Inside with a kick. Lamb overruns the ball. Bain in trouble. Clark does nicely twice. Moves away from the wing. Finds a teammate there. The hand pass comes from Hart. Across to Ashcroft. 50 metres out. Good looking kick. It's a goal.
At BP, we like to think our new service stations are the best in the world, which is why our special fact-finding team is constantly checking, as unobtrusively as possible, how well our stations are maintaining the standard. Thank you. We're pleased to say the results have been very encouraging. But why not come and check us out for yourselves? BP, on the move.
Clark setting up that last goal, so the margin back to just 2 points now. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining till quarter time. Harding and White. The ball's at their feet. Lamb battling hard. Ashcroft applying the tackle.
Amazing spring, Darryl White. He just sort of floats up. He doesn't need to get a lift with the leg or anything. He just floats up in the air.
There he is again, but Harding gets it down. Kemp playing his 50th game. Slaps it out wide. Taken by Lamb. Towards half forward goes the kick. It bounces in open space. Green leads back. Knocked away by Nichols. Close to the boundary line. Nichols. Pios set a task. Does brilliantly. Pios about 40 metres out from goal. Snaps. Good looking effort. Great goal.
Plays 2-2. White and Harding once again to clash. Harding winning it. Hines gets the hand pass to Kemp going past. Quickly down to Heady at half forward. Sumich comes storming out and opens up the goal square, so he pumps it long to try and go right over the top. It was effective, but just offline. 3-5 plays 2-2. Heady keen to be back on the ground. Missed him badly last week against Geelong at Subiaco. There's Campbell. Sizes up his options. And elects to go straight down the middle. Wants White. Harding gets front spot. Then eventually White did get in, but in doing so, gave away the free kick. So, Paul Harding. Kicks back in towards Sumich territory, heady territory. Gastev it is who comes over the top. Hurried kick. Heads towards the line and over. Ashley Green was the player who booted it. And so another throw-in. Western Australian support here as well. Good to see. Lamb chasing. White there also. Shackey loses it to Nichols. And again, we have another bounce. On the outer side, still just in the West Coast Eagles attacking zone. Nichols, he's been in the thick of things since coming onto the ground. Couldn't get an effective kick initially. Actually, Hart does down towards the half-forward line. Bounce is not good for Worsfold. It's taken by Waters, his immediate opponent. Back towards Heady. Past Bain. Waiting down Lamb. A hurried left foot kick goes through the arms of Pios. Now a chance for the Bears to clear. Retzlaff. His kick is partly smothered. Pios chasing. Could have almost infringed on McCluckie, but play allowed to go on as Lewis steadies, kicks up towards Sumich up the forward line. Can't take it with the one hand. Spoiled by Matthew Campbell. And another throw in, this time in the left forward pocket for the West Coast Eagles.
.23 plays 14. There's the throw in. Ashcroft towards the boundary line. It's going to be a free kick, I think, to Heady. Pushed in the back. Just outside the 50. Brett Heady. And suggest too far out to score. Strange to relate, the West Coast Eagles are starting better this season. Last season they averaged 24 points per first quarter. This season, despite 2 losses, it's up to 30. So far they've got 23. Is it 29? It's close. It's a goal.
It's Easter fever. With lots of surprises.
We are on fire on the main event.
And who's this?
Hello, Art. Yeah, well, you stick around here, you'll be pieces of art.
Special guests Les Hill, Sue Cruikshank, and has Agro found his Easter bunny?
I think I'm doing okay.
Join in the fun as Subaru Liberty presents the main event, 6:30 Sunday.
The weather for your Easter break is the most important weather of all. That's why Brownie's Coast Watch is here every night over Easter on 7 Nightly News.
Again, the Eagles open up a 15-point margin. But bear in mind, they are kicking with what breeze there is here at Carrara. Probably 2 or 3 goals. Nichols working hard at the bottom of the pack again. Hart's over the top of him. Can't go anywhere. So another bounce. Harding backing in, but he's beaten by White this time. Mainwaring, the bottom of the pack. Retzlaff tries to get it out, but his kick is smothered. So too is that of Kemp. Mainwaring again in everything with Retzlaff. Eagles will want a very big game from Roger Merritt tonight. Contested that ruck work. Went nowhere. Lamb it is who eventually gets it out towards Heady, who gets a shocking bounce. It goes out the back. White has it now. Gives it to Champion. Oh, he's going to be in trouble. Lewis just a little late on him, but he gets his kick away. Hand pass over the top from Nigel Palfreyman. This looks more promising as Bain has it on the outer flank. Gets clear. David Bain puts the Bears inside 50. Hutton out on the long lead. Can't take the mark. He's close to the boundary line. Pulls it back in towards half forward. Shackey was his man. He couldn't take it. At the back is Steve McCluckie. A high ball towards the boundary line. Shackey again. Laidley at the bottom.
Too long. That should be
ball.
Yeah, too long. And umpires right onto that one. Laidley had it underneath him for a long time. He was initially in control of the ball, then it spilled underneath him, and there it stayed. He didn't try to knock it out. Just left it underneath him far too long.
So McClucky from Southport, the young boy, shoots it towards goal and he closes the gap.
Yes, that goal going to actually Marcus Ashcroft kicking that goal.
It looked like McClucky.
It did look like McClucky. Very similar, Sandy. Easily to mistake those two. But Marcus Ashcroft already has kicked 2 goals too out of the Bears' tally. And he's been very good on the forward line. A good move playing him across that half-forward line.
That was an interesting situation because McClucky certainly applied the tackle. Ashcroft somehow finished up getting the kick. Not sure what that was all about. Mainwaring dragged down. Mitchell White tries to knock it out. Turley goes over the top. This is Lamb. Lamb from half-back. Long towards half-forward. Gaster deflects it forward. Nichols dragged down. Poultryman, nicely done. Away to Clark towards half-forward with a kick. Ashcroft goes with the left foot. Pulls it back inside the attacking 50. Shanky, almost a great mark. It spills free. White picks it up, boots it back towards the wing. Gaster, diving grab on the outer side. So the tempo is lifting.
They're playing with a lot of spirit, the Brisbane Bears, Dennis. They're looking very good at this stage.
They trail by 9 points. Gaster back towards the attacking 50 once more. Merritt, hard on Harding. Down went Jakovic. Worsfold, the hand pass away. This is Clark from about 60 metres out across the ground. Ill-directed kick. Matera can take it and go. He's forward of left half back, Peter Matera. Long kick towards left half forward. Hines leads in the race down there. Champion in pursuit. Hines goes down to Simic, who's one out. Well played by Campbell. Knocked the ball to his own advantage, then storms away from the back pocket, back towards the wing. Matera. Oh, a very clever mark.
That's a great mark. Peter Matera playing on Steve McClucky. That's a good contest. McClucky going everywhere with him, really attacking him closely.
Matera, centering kick, but there's the siren. Simic won't get there in time. It's quarter time here at Carrara. And in an entertaining first quarter, the West Coast lead, but they're kicking with the breeze. The Eagles, 4-5, 29. Brisbane, 3-2, 20.
No matter where you live in Australia, when it comes to carpet, there's only one thing you need to know.
There's magic in a Solomon's carpet.
Yes, Solomon's are Australia's largest carpet specialists, and in every Solomon store you'll find friendly expert service, a huge range of the finest carpets, and all at surprisingly low prices.
Ha-ha!
Remember, no one can carpet your home like Solomon's.
Wherever your home, we're as close as the phone. Shop at home with Solomon's.
They're magic.
This one's too hot to handle.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
16 sizzling hot tracks. Color Me Bad and Salt and Pepper. Kathy Dennis.
This one's real hot.
And Hot Icy Blue. 16 tracks that are too hot to handle from Concept.
It's hot.
Kangaroos, wallabies, lions, kiwis, dolphins, swan sharks, downfalls, rat hawks, hurricane magpies, jumping up into the sky, panthers, tigers, bears in the jungle out there, mermaids, broncos, giants in front row.
The race, a performance animal at a competitive price.
Cougars coming hard and fast, lots of eagles flying past, cobras sliding round the bend.
And the lynx wins in the end.
Would you know anything about toy wind-up trains? I see. Yeah, I'll try them. Thank you. I've lost the wheels off the front bogie. Oh, yes, I'll look under hobbies. Thank you. You do? Oh, that's marvelous. Thank you. Gwen, I got him. I got him.
That's nice, dear.
Hello, it makes you wonder what real advance is. After thousands of years of so-called civilization, we've advanced so much that we have to bolt our doors and windows at night while the people of so-called more primitive cultures sleep in open huts. Wouldn't be quite so bad if it was only to protect our growing list of possessions, our TVs and videos and the likes. At least then we could just accept that we were getting too attached to them and decide one way or the other. But the really frightening thing is we don't feel safe ourselves. Women can't walk the streets safely at night. People are murdered in their own homes. Children are at risk. Worst of all, we seem to accept it as normal. It's just a part of life. If that's civilization, I don't want to have much to do with it. If we want to truly advance, we need to make our place safe.
Only 9 points in it here at Carrara. The West Coast kicking with the breeze. 4-5, 29. Brisbane 3-2, 20. A reminder too, all the top sport coming away on the 7 Sports World each and every Sunday. So tune in tomorrow morning, 9 through 12, or if you're in Adelaide, just up half an hour earlier at 30. Plenty of upsets in the world of sport in the past week. Join Bruce McAvaney at the team tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock through until 12, or as I said, in Adelaide at 8:30. Then looking ahead, NASCARs and Auscars for all the petrolhead fans. The action's at Calder on Sunday, April 26th, but wherever you may be viewing right around the country, just check your local guides for all the details. And the jewel in the crown, the games of the 25th Olympiad, coming to you live from Barcelona, commencing on July 25 with the opening ceremony and concluding on August the 9th. And that is exclusive to 7 Sport. Billy McDonald's been down listening to the coaches, and I would imagine that Mickey Malthouse had a fair bit to say, Bill, at quarter time.
A lot of individual talking in the Eagles camp at the moment, Sandy. Did have a lot to say to the players, wants them to keep it very physical, and he's a little bit concerned about some of the Bears' smaller running players at the moment, asking his own guys to get in there and run the ball a lot harder and do a lot more work. Robert Walls, well, he was fairly happy with the Bears' performance, wants them to improve their delivery into the forward line and clean that up a little bit and play close and hard, the same as Mick Malthouse was saying, and take some initiative and spread the ball whenever they've got it.
Yes, thank you, Bill. Did you think that the Bears had a pretty good quarter, Bernie?
Yes, I would think Mick Malthouse would be a little bit surprised by the Bears' ferocity in that first quarter. They're playing with a lot of spirit, the Brisbane Bears, and their smaller running players are doing very well. As you can see, the stats are very much in favour of Brisbane in kicks and in the handball department. And marks also. And what about the hit-outs? Well, that's pretty even, but he's really doing well in the ruck. Darryl White, for a young fellow, only 18 years of age, and setting up a lot of opportunities for the smaller players.
Tackles too, leading 11-5, so it's been a very determined effort by Brisbane. They really fancy themselves after their performance a fortnight ago against Fitzroy. Admittedly, the conditions were vastly different.
Well, the season is proving a nightmare for tipsters. The AFL has got its dream, I think, of parity in this competition. Just no easy games now.
Nightmare being the understatement.
Yes, well and truly. I mean, look at today's results again. Tough for tipsters, but terrific for the competition.
Oh, my word. Great for the game. Just about set to go now in the second quarter. It's the Eagles leading by 9 points. What can the Bears do with the breeze? Vital quarter for them. White, young man from the Rovers Football Club in the Northern Territory, is beaten in the ruck. Lamb tries to soccer it out. It ricochets back to Turley, who kicks it high to half forward. Nichols waits down. In fact, 2 Bears players flew for that ball. The bottom was Nichols, and a bounce on the Eagles' half-forward line. So the West Coast bench, Carl Langdon, was taken from the ground midway through the first quarter and has not returned. Hines over the top, but straight to Ashcroft. Good tackle by Lewis, and the ball spills free, however. Lamb, Nichols in there chasing it, goes over the back, Campbell, and eventually taken over the line on the outer side in the left forward pocket. Peter Sumich has 1 goal to date. Champion doing the ruck work. Lives dangerously as he taps it towards the Eagles' goal, and it could result in one. It has.
bouncing it very well tonight. Harding down to Turley. This is Clark, bumped down by Kemp, off the ground by Lewis. And about 15 metres. Hines did well in a tight situation. Appeared cornered initially. Floats one down towards the 50. And Green was tugged down by the arm and must get the free kick. Ashley Green virtually on the defensive 50. Playing on a half-back flank. He's a good size. This is Bain towards the wing. Laidley leads to the ball, though. Must get a free kick, surely. Nothing doing. Hines gives it away. Ashcroft couldn't control it. In goes Mainwaring. Clark comes back for more. And eventually a whistle. Well, Laidley certainly should have got a kick on the wing.
No doubt.
So bounce down. West Coast Eagles leading by 15 points. This bounce not so good. Bit spongy on this grandstand wing. Bain out of the congestion. Clark showed some courage there but couldn't control it. Down goes Brennan. Well played by White. Hutton's got the run of it, confronted by Matera. In goes John Worsfold. He goes to ground. Lewis a timely boot on the ball. Well done by White to get it across towards Retzlaff, who's wrestled to the ground by Turley. And another bounce. Tough footy. Not pretty at the present time. Brendan Retzlaff. There's Craig Turley. Retzlaff, like so many in this Bears side from interstate. Clark drops the mark just outside the 50 to Bain, who runs to 40. David Bain pulls it back. Great effort. I think it's across the line. No, juggled across the line. Well, a timely save there by Mitchell White. It was touch and go. In the end, it was touch.
3-3 plays 5-5 with the Eagles continuing to hold sway. Back to the members' side. Merritt and Harding. Harding has it fisted away from him. Over the head. Clark going in towards the pocket and seeing it roll over the line. In the back pocket region is Mitchell White.
Hi, Geraldton. Chris Mainwaring hails from there, of course. Murray Renstead, another player who came from Geraldton. In fact, I was born there, Sam.
Throw in.
It's got to be one failure, doesn't there?
Hart. Mainwaring pressures him, keeps it in play, gets it back to Laidley. Short kick, he was looking for Lamb. Good interception by Ashcroft, centering kick, and he finds McClucky. My word, those two are alike. McClucky kicking from 55 metres. It'll test him. He gets it into the square. Hutton is the big flyer.
Yes, it's paid, Sandy. Good mark for Brett Hutton. And he's certainly an improved player tonight.
Well, he on his helmet.
He hasn't had a great start to the season, kicking 5 goals only in the first 3 matches. They're copying one there from Johnny Worsfold also. So this should be a goal to the Brisbane Bears.
Yes, John Hutton. Point blank range. Looking for the Bears' 4. He makes no mistake. Straight through the middle.
At Westpac, we understand that when it comes to looking after your own, there's no place like home. And to make buying your home easier, we're offering you a special low interest rate of just 9.25% per annum, together with one low bank establishment fee of $250. This is a limited offer, so talk to your Westpac manager today, because we want you to be as comfortable with your home loan as you are with your new home.
Sticking at it. Hutton very lively on the forward line to the moment. Paul Harding barking the instructions. Pretty even in the centre. These takeaways so far. 5-5-4-3. Just over 20 minutes remaining till half-time. White favoured by the bounce. Slaps it out wide to accommodate a teammate there, and Bain. Some bodies went in very solidly. There's a bear down. Meantime, away comes Worsfold. Puts it down towards half forward. Gastiff goes towards the boundary line, and it will be thrown in.
So it's a tremendous sandwich in the centre of the ground there.
Ashcroft, is it?
Really shaken. Hines gets it down.
Oh, Lewis in late. Could be against Lewis, I'd say, for that indiscretion.
In the thick of things, comes up, certainly holding on.
I'm not too happy with Chris Lewis for diving in late there.
Oh, the umpire's gone.
Umpire Harris is down. Lamb crashed into him. Bain is put back on the mark. bit happening at Carrara. Umpire Harris keen to make an impression here.
Well, Lewis was also the one that collided with Ashcroft only seconds ago.
That whistle was getting a real workout, wasn't it?
It still is.
Well, Bain's got the football. He's at left half back. He goes in short. White on the lead takes the mark. Just the defensive side of the wing. And livening up. White, probing kick down towards half forward. Shackey on the lead. Punched away well by White. Loose ball in front of the pack. Shackey kept on coming. The bodies are going in. Nichols goes off the ground. This is White. Bain wearing hot on his hammer. Close to the boundary line. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Just the attacking side of left centre wing for the West Coast Eagles. 5-5 to 4-3. Bears bench. Halfreman couldn't control it. Worsfold again gets it towards the boundary line. Worsfold, one of those players who likes contact. Harding got some there from White and will get the free kick. Not much finesse from White that time. Paul Harding plays on immediately. This is Worsfold. Goes long towards centre half forward. The Bears have got the numbers there. Champion. Well played by Leslie from behind too. Made sure Pios didn't contest. And now 50 metres against the West Coast Eagles. So Champion, former Woodville star, comes up towards centre half forward. 4-3-5-5.
Another player who played very well against Fitzroy. Richard Champion. Did a very good job there in the back line.
Low trajectory kick intended for Shackey through his hands. Harding did well to knock it forward. Laidley couldn't find it on the ground. Kemp goes off the ground. Merritt scrambles at Goldwood. Good effort. Fine goal, Roger Merritt.
At BP, we like to think our new service stations are the best in the world, which is why our special fact-finding team is constantly checking, as unobtrusively as possible, how well our stations are maintaining the standard. Thank you. We're pleased to say the results have been very encouraging. But why not come and check us out for yourselves? BP, on the move.
So the Bears throwing down the challenge here at Carrara. 2 points the margin. This is developing into a good tight game of football. Nichols caught in the middle. The ball spills free, but all too late. And another bounce. Still virtually in the middle. White and Harding clash. It's Kemp who should come away if he doesn't run into any trouble. He doesn't because he soccers off the ground. Down towards the half-forward line and Pios leaves a path for Lewis. That was clever play, and Chris Lewis just chips around his body delightfully to suit him.
It's a beautiful kick there by Chris Lewis. He's been tagged pretty successfully by Danny Noonan. He's found it pretty hard to find kicks at this stage, Chris Lewis. The Shepherd did put Noonan out of business there in the centre of the ground.
Sumich has one. It was kicked in the first quarter on goal line. Nate, he's going to be kicking from just on 50. Was close to the man on the mark and drifts it across the face of goal for one behind. Margin now out to 3 points. Peter Sumich. 1 goal, 2. Matthew Campbell to bring it back into play. Straight down the middle. Lovely kick. Pios the fly. Couldn't take the mark. Recovered well, but it's gassed in. He gets the kick back in towards the centre. Matera the fly. Bain works hard doing the shepherding work. Ashcroft appears to have recovered from that heavy knock. Finds Clark. Now he's forward of centre, Clark. Chips in towards half-forward. Shackey on the half volley. Can't quite take it. It was just a little too short for him. But he's caught at the bottom of the pack and going absolutely nowhere.
It's a pity because a good lead there from Lawrence Shackey. He was out 5 metres in the clear. And that kick being better, it was almost a certain goal there to the Brisbane Bears. Because Shackey, a very good kick from about the 45-50 metre range.
Well, they're only 60 metres out from goal. The goal here, they can hit the front. Ashcroft does the ruck work and it comes back to him. He goes onto the left foot with a snap, but is wide to the right. So a throw in the right forward pocket
for the Brisbane Bears. Marcus Ashcroft having a pretty good night, dropping a couple of heavy ones, but he's standing up to it well. Here's the throw in. Merritt may try and pluck it out of the air. No, he palms it down. But again, it's just bottled up with Dwayne Lamb over the top of David Bain. Another one of the game's real little terriers. Merritt again in opposition to Djakovic. Ashcroft, a hurried snap. It's going to be tight. Just another behind.
Got to say, Sandy, he's an emerging star, this young man.
He's had a very good night so far.
One of those players who finds time, finds the football, and in this term has shown some courage as well. He was decked early. He's got up and he's kept on picking up possessions. 15 possessions so far for Ashcroft as this ball goes out of bounds. 5-6 to 5-4.
Well done by the young bloke again there, Tudara White, staying with Paul Harding, getting up very high, spoiling.
Harding and Shackey. One down by the former. Ashcroft smothered off the boot. Retzlaff, hurried kick, floats it out of bounds in the left full forward pocket.
Eagles led by 9 points at quarter time. Currently, their lead is 2. Michael Brennan back after injury. Vice captain out of the back pocket. Very high kick towards the half-back flank. White from behind. Djakovic up in front. This is Nichols. Untidy handball behind the target. Ashcroft over the ball. Knocked out by Merritt. Taken by Laidley. Short pass comes from White. And Harding has the ball. Legged, but gets it off to Laidley. Laidley from half-back goes in very short to Kemp. Kemp surrounded by Bears. Does well. Pulls it back. Back goes White though and takes the mark on the wing. Plays on immediately. Champion on the overlap. Hand pass off to Shackey. Worsfold picked his pocket almost. Tries to get it across towards Lewis. He couldn't control it. They're going in pretty solidly. White did well. Champion under pressure. Very high kick down towards the pocket. Turley goes back. Off his fingertips. And it runs out of bounds.
This game's lifted a few notches, Dennis, at the moment. The Brisbane Bears certainly doing well to tie up the West Coast Eagles. Haven't been able to find that space. And they really can exploit a side.
Good tight quarter of football. Just a couple of points in it. Merritt tried to take it away. Then Retzlaff goes over the top. The bounce is not a good one. Lewis takes it. Gives it away to Djakovic. A high kick up towards the half-back line. Harding in front. Taps it over the line. And Scott Waters sees it in that region. Merritt and Djakovic. Laden, Clark, close to the boundary line, a little too wide for Retzlaff. So another throw. Bears trail by 2 points. Now Langdon looking a little concerned. Ricochets from the cheek of Lewis. And Hart sees it over the line. Danny Newman. Got the job on Chris Lewis. Merritt with the left hand wins it, but straight to Lamb. Harding gets a fist clear. Noonan and Lewis. Lewis the victor again. Out in front of Kemp. Ashcroft giving chase. Back to Lewis's intelligent football. He gets around McCluckey. Then sets sail up towards half forward. Wanted Pios. Leslie shepherded him out of it. Worsfold with pace, and as he went to ground, he tapped it on towards Nichols. Tried to do some fancy soccer stuff. It almost came off, but eventually it goes over the line in the left forward pocket. Desperate stuff from the Brisbane Bears. Trent Nichols wearing one of his troubles. But a throw-in. The Eagles left forward pocket. The Champion over the top. Tries to gain valuable meterage. Pios. Close to the boundary line. It's going to be kept in. Pulled back towards Nichols again. Now Worsfold shrugs the tackle, gets the hand pass across to Hines. The big man shoots it towards goal, but he drips it across the face. And one behind as the result. So goals hard to come by in this second quarter. 5-7 plays 5-4, a margin of 3 points.
Both runners working overtime. Robert Wiley. Brian Doog, of course, Doog formerly a runner for John Todd with the West Coast Eagles. Back in midfield, Heady. Worsfold dragged down, got the kick off just in time. Hart swings it out wide. Retzlaff close to the boundary line, can't control it. And once more, a throw in, so the boundary umpires too working overtime. 5-7 plays 5-4. Thrown in on the wing. Harding uncontested decisively, as you'd expect. Got it down the main wearing. Brian Duke sidesteps the football. Ashcroft again everywhere. Champion took one high off the ball. This is Lewis. Some interesting shepherding by a couple of Eagles down there. They need to be careful. Leslie dragged down. Well done by Pios. Got a boot on that ball with intent, I fancy, and Sumic has pulled it back too much.
So that's one goal through to Peter Sumic. Again, his inaccuracy taking over. He had a lot of problems with that last year, Dennis, didn't he?
Yes. Took 111 goals, though. I mean, he's an outstanding full forward. Has to be mentioned in the top bracket.
Oh, certainly. No doubt. He had a great year last year, Peter Sumic, but on a number of occasions, he did miss seemingly easy goals.
All right. 5-8, 5-4. Campbell goes towards the outer side. White goes back, got a hand on it. Well played, knocked forward by Hart. Diving in there is Lamb. And another whistle. No concessions from either side so far.
The cry of ball going in vain quite a lot tonight. Dwayne Lamb's done some heavy work in this quarter. He's had an interesting clash again with Marcus Ashcroft, who appears to be okay. Bain and Noonan. Kemp, the toe puck, goes nowhere. The bottom, Chris Mainwaring. The ball still on centre wing. And Mainwaring flicks it round his body. Gastev kept his eye on that ball all the time. Goes wide to Champion. Won't be able to sneak away from Paul Pios, however. He'll go short to Hart. They still have it on the defensive side of centre, the Bears. Now Hart wants Shackey, but he's just edged out of it on that occasion. Turley across to Lamb. It came from White up towards half forward. Champion again. Oh, Clark under the hammer, but he gets rid of it quickly. Pios held when he didn't have the football. Laidley wide to Kemp. And he stabs it up towards the 50-metre line and finds Matera. His kick towards Hines. Champion gets there and does well. Recovers beautifully. Kicks wide towards centre wing. And a good diving mark taken by Worsfold. He plays on quickly. Pushed as he got his kick, but it's still effective. Only to see it marked in defence by Mitchell White. Back to half forward once again goes the kick of White. Big pack of players. Gastev waits down. His hand pass is good to Bain. And David Bain gets the Brisbane Bears out of trouble.
Kicks it down towards half forward. Merritt's in front. Interesting attempt to mark. Had a headlock on Djakovic. Laidley swings it out wide. This is Noonan. He's on the wing. Cross his body towards the 50. Loose ball, runs free behind the pack. White the first back to Djakovic. Looking for Brennan. Knocked away by Hutton at number 2-1. Harding towards the boundary line, content with his work there. Rushes it across. 5-8 plays 5-4. Carl Langdon waiting to come back on. Approaching half-time here at Carrara. Merritt was up to win it down. Sliding in was Hart for the Brisbane Bears.
It's been pretty untidy, Dennis, but I think that's mainly because both sides have manned up so very well.
Real tough game, as we said earlier. Not too pretty. Someone touched the ball in the air. It fell at their feet. Waters' quick hands away to Lewis. Towards the wing. Langdon going back with courage. Pios to Heady. Langdon runs on down the ground. Here's trouble for the Bears. He read that very well, Carl Langdon. His boot is in the clear. Wants to draw Green. Now will go over the top and does. Not a good handball. Worsfold's got some time. Well run by Retzlaff to put pressure on the kick. It comes back from Campbell to Retzlaff around the corner. Leslie. Well, they dodged the bullet right there, Brisbane. Green goes off the ground. Taken by Heady. Heady dragged down by Gastev. Now it's Laidley. Gets around the oncoming tackler Green. Centering kick. Sumic got his hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Nichols over the top. Langdon lost it on the radar. Nichols goes off the ground. It's a goal.
When you've got really serious work to do, it might not be enough to just have a big V6 under the bonnet. That's why Mitsubishi proudly bring you the new Triton 3-litre V6 cab chassis with four-wheel drive. The new Triton V6. Have a think about it. Or as the boys at Mitsubishi might say, please consider.
10 points, the margin here at Carrara, favouring the West Coast Eagles. Centre bounce once again. Harding, too good for White. Picked up by Ashcroft, however. He kicks up towards centre half forward. Lamb got a hand to it. Laidley's working hard at the back. Easily gets out of trouble. Dean Laidley from half back. Long hand pass off to Harding. He wants his runners, and he's got Lamb. Over the centre to Worsfold. Mark not paid. McCluckie gets it off to Champion. A little chip in towards the centre of the ground, and he finds Roger Merritt. Merritt quickly onto Retzlaff. Retzlaff a left foot kick to half forward. Shackey moving quickly. Can't get there in time to take the mark, but he does have support. Comes over the top for Shackey once again. All Lewis collars him. The ball spills free. Bain. Great try. Gives the hand pass across to Noonan from 60 metres. Danny Noonan sets sail towards home, holding on from both players. Worsfold was the lone bear, and it's going to be Lamb who gets the Eagles out of trouble. Off to Matera, who's in the back pocket. Has a look up towards Kemp territory and finds his man on the half-back flank.
Dean Kemp having a very good season. Towards the wing. He pitches just inside the boundary line. Martin Leslie an opportunity. The hand pass charged down brilliantly by Langdon, who is tracked again and brought down by McCluckie, off the ground by Pios. And the ball goes out of bounds and will be thrown in.
Well, the coaches would be very happy with the way their players have manned up. The defensive side of both of these sides has been very good tonight, as Lawrence Shackey is taken from the ground, and he's been replaced by Ray Windsor.
Goes immediately to the forward line. Meantime, action on the outer side. Pios of the West Coast Eagles is dragged down. Here's Jakovic. Keeps it in front. Matera confronted by Hart, in trouble. Across to Turley, who's been pretty quiet. Kicks towards half forward. Hetty was in front. He's going to get the free kick. Well, he used his body well.
He's been pretty quiet too, Dennis. Been well held by John Gastev, a former teammate.
Always difficult for the defender in that situation. Hetty really not going at the ball, just screening his opponent off the ball. Down goes Sumich. Behind is Clark, confronted by Worsfold. Green, gained about 10 metres with a hand pass. In goes Campbell solidly. Pios was there too, and it's out of bounds. Well, this is terrific stuff. Hard-working football. It's really blue-collar football at the moment. There's Lawrence Shackey. His chances on the forward line, just those marks slipping out of his hands. Champion gets it down. Hetty tried to go up the ground. Langdon quick hands to Lewis. Similarly got it across to Pios. Now Waters from 35 metres out, and he's missed. Should have done better, Scott Waters. So at 6'9", plays 5'4".
It's almost another gimme goal there to the West Coast Eagles. Sumich missing one earlier in the quarter. Robert Walls, I think, would be very happy with the effort that's been put in by his side tonight.
11 points, the margin, favouring the West Coast Eagles. Dangerous kick out from Campbell, but he finds Worsfold onto Champion. Champion steers it up towards centre wing. The Eagles have the numbers. Matera swoops on it quickly, then goes with a little left foot that gathers only a few metres.
It's a free kick to the Bears.
To the Brisbane Bears.
Yes, he was legged.
McCluckie takes it. Gets it across to his teammate in Ashley Green. McCluckie through. Mainwaring. Turley. To half forward. Up towards Sumich with the one hand. The other, as you can see, was held. And Peter Sumich, who's been off target tonight. 1-3, Ernie?
Yes, 1-3, Andy.
So let's see what he can do. "40 metres out. Left foot. Again, he's ripped that to the right. And another behind. So 1-4 Bernie, and wasted opportunities for the West Coast Eagles.
There's 3 behinds in this quarter to Peter Sumich. one behind to Scott Waters. They should have been 3 almost certain goals, and Sumich very disappointed in himself, as he should be. That was a goal that you would expect a good full forward to kick, Dennis.
Campbell. Straight down the middle. Lovely kick out. White got up high, but couldn't take the mark. Look at Barney. It's like a speed machine at the back of the pack. Kicks down towards the forward line and eventually off the knee and over the line, but off the knee of Mitchell White there for a throw-in the Bears' left forward pocket.
Interesting, Sandy, that last play is a set play. I was watching a tape the other day of the game against Carlton. The long kick down the middle, the knock-on, and the runners coming sort of virtually in a pincer movement from either side, running onto the ball through centre. They did that then. Against Carlton, they got a goal from it.
Hart only gets a short kick. It goes straight to Kemp. His kick is high. It's going to be very close to the boundary line, and in fact is over on the full. So Roger Merritt, a chance to send the Bears into attack. Centering kick up towards full forward. Hutton's his target. A little too early. Oh, Worsfold at the back. Post. Well, another opportunity goes begging, but this time it is for the Brisbane Bears. 5-5. Plays 6-10.
Yes, well, such is the pressure of the game there. Worsfold just expecting to be tackled very quickly, but in fact he had a little bit of time where he could have steadied and made certain of that.
White looking for Mainwaring. Turley backing up to Brennan. He goes in short and gets it away. Roger Merritt, who turns 32 tomorrow. His 3rd season as skipper, finds Hutton on the lead. He loses his helmet.
And a clever kick there from Roger Merritt. Didn't try to stab it in low trajectory to Hutton. He just lobbed it there in front of him, allowing him to run onto the ball and take that very good mark.
So John Hutton will kick from just inside the 50.
No trouble with the distance, Dennis, from there?
No, he's a good long kick, isn't he? Let's really give it a ride. He is needing this goal. It's almost half-time. And the margin is 11 points. Hutton, a question of accuracy. He's got it. That's a magnificent kick.
You're looking at a couple of loaded guns.
We've got a number 2 in progress from twin number 1.
Whoa! Fun for the new dad and mum.
What could be more fun than me?
Is little Michelle turning into a 5-year-old bimbo?
You're my date.
Uncle Toby's presents Full House at 7:30.
I'll start with a Happy Meal.
And at 8 o'clock,
Go! Not the mama!
discover why Dinosaurs is the hottest new comedy in Australia.
Get your head out of his mouth right now.
A great double from 7:30 tonight on 7.
So Brisbane doing very well. Really sticking with the West Coast Eagles, their fancied rivals. After today, fancied rivals have a way of losing in the AFL. And this may not be any exception. Here's Hetty at centre-half forward, surrounded by Bears. Knocks it out. The clock is down to about 20 seconds now. Lewis couldn't control it. They'll tie it up here, Brisbane, and that should be good enough to keep the scores as they are. No, this ball still runs. Hart was taken high, scrambles a kick out towards the boundary line. Mainwaring leads in the race. No, Turley comes across to assist. The pair of them there, Champion took his eye off the ball, went straight at Turley and corked him, I fancy. Turley comes back into the fray. It's out of bounds on the siren, so half-time at Carrara, and that was a fitting passage of play, indicative of the first half. Both sides going at it. Not a lot of skill exhibited. Both teams high on endeavour. The West Coast Eagles lead by 5 points. Their margin was 9 points at quarter time. It's 6-10 to 6-5. Paul Pios has 2 goals for the West Coast Eagles. And for Brisbane, Ashcroft, a fine first half from this young player who has a lot of talent, a lot of time, as we said during the commentary, and is an emerging star for the Brisbane Bears. They haven't had a lot. John Hutton has also kicked 2 goals.
So just repeating the scores at half-time here at Carrara. The Eagles lead, but there's only 5 points in it. The Eagles are 6-10, 46. The Bears, 6-5, 41.
I'll be be back. What is the mystery behind Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator?
All is not quite what it seems.
They are the movie's most amazing special effects.
The computer creations that burst to life on the big screen.
How are they done?
Artist literally constructs the image bone by bone.
This is a unique glimpse behind the scenes.
The birthplace of some of Hollywood's most famous characters.
See how movie magic is made. Trust me. Beyond 2000, 8:30 Tuesday on 7.
People rush from miles around to grab the unbeatable bargains in Spotlight's Easter sellout. Caprice continuous curtaining below half price from 99 cents a metre. Continuous cafe curtains reduced from $8.95 to $2.99 a metre. Cushions from $4.95 each. Up to 40% off Duchess bedspreads from $39. Hurry, 4 days only. Printed flannelette, $1.50 a metre. Plaid's new season fashion tartans down to $12.95 a metre and more. Don't miss Spotlight's unbeatable Easter sellout.
No matter where you live in Australia, when it comes to carpet, there's only one thing you need to know.
There's magic in a Solomon's carpet.
Yes, Solomons are Australia's largest carpet specialists, and in every Solomon store you'll find friendly expert service, a huge range of the finest carpets, and all at surprisingly low prices.
Ha-ha!
Remember, no one can carpet your home like Solomons.
Wherever you're home, we're as close as the phone. Shop at home with Solomons.
They're magic.
Half-time here at Carrara, and the West Coast lead, but in a thriller. They kicked 2 goals 5 in the second quarter to advance to 6-10-46, leading Brisbane 6-5-41. And one of the stars, certainly, of the West Coast Eagles in the past 12 months has been the young man who wears the number 7 Guernsey, Craig Turley. 91 best and fairest and All-Australian. Had a marvellous year last year. Let's profile him now in this report compiled by Monica Koss.
Turley, runner-up in the Brownlow last year.
Turley, he's been in everything. Finds Turley, bobbing up everywhere. Craig Turley.
This is the Craig Turley we all know, the modest midfielder with smouldering good looks. According to the girls, he's the biggest hunk in the team. Hot property, on and off the field.
Webster business shirts, just $15.95. Save 60%. 7th Avenue.
But unlike the suits Craig wears so comfortably, the sexy image he's paid to sell, Craig claims, just isn't his style.
But, I just have to deal with that as best I can, and it's not always easy because I don't feel comfortable with it.
He wants people to appreciate him for his football ability, not what other people think of him as a sex symbol.
Manson will have to go. Turley! Tailor-made for him.
When he's not leaving the opposition flat-footed, Craig's at the club headquarters where he works as the players' promotion officer. At the end of the day, he heads for the beach. The tranquil surf is Craig's escape from the limelight.
He likes to have his own time, doesn't like to be dictated to, he just likes to do his own thing.
Childhood playmates Dennis and Ralph know Craig better than most. According to the boys, he doesn't always live up to his polished image.
He doesn't smoke, none of us smoke, but we, as you know, everyone likes to drink. He likes to let out some steam, and he likes to party. Sometimes he does like to party hard, and we're there to party hard with him.
And never too far away are the girls.
Once he sees a girl that he likes, he focuses all his attention on it and zooms in on them.
I'm a possessive person by nature.
You
It's
are?
a bit of a secret. Yeah, I think I'm possessive. I am possessive.
There's been only 3 serious girlfriends in Craig's hectic life. Former flatmate Ralph thinks he knows why.
In the short term, he's a good fellow to live with, good fun. But in the long term, he can be a bit trying. Try your patience a bit. He's pretty stubborn, likes his own way, and won't admit to anything wrong, you know? He's that sort of character. I'm a Virgo, very fastidious, I think it's the word they use. Very particular, and I like everything to be in order, and everything in my place has to have a place of its own, and I don't like things being out of place.
It was Craig's obsession with routine that led him to join the police force. At 19, he graduated with honours and snapped up by the elite tactical response group. A year before he resigned, he met with the Pope.
Having a Christian
Christian upbringing and going to church for the best part of my life, I think that obviously it did have a bit of an influence on me.
I don't know really how it changed him, but he thinks it has.
But nobody, not even the Pope, has had more influence upon Craig than his adopted parents. Abandoned at birth, Valma and Russell took Craig into their hearts and home.
Living the way they do and the standards they've had and the happy, successful marriage that they had really sort of inspires me, I suppose, and just makes me feel really lucky and really special.
It sounds like he's been a delight to grow up with.
It almost sounds as if I'm saying, you know, that he's perfect. I mean, he's not perfect, but he didn't cause us any problems.
He's just a general, just a bloke, just a normal guy. You know, there's nothing special about him, but he is a very open person. He's a very caring person, and yeah, he's a good person.
Let's give it away, Tina.
No, Barry. Fishing is all about patience.
Sizzler have 2 new seafood platters, you know. One of them has lemon pepper shrimp, prawn cutlets golden fried, and juicy whole prawns.
Pass me one of our prawns, please.
The other Sizzler platter has a baby Maine lobster, the succulent whole prawns, and shrimp fried with scallops.
My favourites.
Got a bite, eh?
Sizzler. Sport, science, hospitality, the environment, the community. Young Queenslanders are improving lives and making history. The Suncorp Young Queenslander of the Year Award, presented by Channel 7 and the Courier Mail, honours young Queenslanders who help make our state a better place. There's monthly prizes of $400, with the Young Queenslander of the Year receiving $3,000 plus travel. If you know a young Queenslander under 25 years who deserves recognition, collect an entry form from Suncorp offices or the Courier Mail.
Panadol Cold and Flu is like 3 cold and flu relievers in 1. Paracetamol eases aches and fever. A powerful suppressant calms your cough. And an equally powerful decongestant clears the stuffiness. And it all works. Fast.
Neil Diamond's Greatest Hits, 1966 to 1992. The ultimate Neil Diamond collection. Only $29.95 double CD, $22.95 double cassette. And check out the music video Greatest Hits Live. Out now.
Both sides back out on the ground here at Carrara. Roger Merritt firing plenty of encouragement to his charges. They trail by 5 points. Let's go down to the boundary line now. You've still got that bear with you, William. Did you manage to get any Easter eggs from him?
I can't manage to shake this damn bear, but he must be a good luck charm anyway. The bear's
Never work with animals or kids, mate.
I've heard that. Well, in the dressing room at half-time, Robert Walls was very pleased with the Bears' performance. They're showing a lot of initiative. That's what he said to them before the game. Wants them to keep doing that because it's taking the initiative away from the West Coast Eagles. Continue to take risks and don't relax. And he said to them before the game also, don't be overawed by the opposition. And that's certainly what they're doing. They're not overawed at all. Well, Mick Malthouse had plenty to say to the Eagles. He said the possession game at the moment is just not working. It's about 60 to 40. The Bears leading in that statistics in the first half. Exert some pressure. They've got to start putting some pressure on, particularly in defence. And they've got to make the most of the opportunities, and they've just had too many turnovers. They've got to start to tighten the screws, which is what he said they should have done in the second quarter.
You look ridiculous with that bear down there.
Thank you, Sandy.
They said to the bear, tag McDonald.
Here we go. Second half at Carrara. 5 points the margin. Bounce is not good for White, but good for Hines. Waters tried to get a boot to ball, was unsuccessful. Pushed down towards the half-forward line. Brennan and Hutton clash. Ball is held. Now and he's lost it for the first time, holding the ball against Mitchell White. This gives the Bears a chance at half-forward. The kick from Noonan going up towards Merritt territory. Roger Merritt at the back. He's got support. Retzlaff pulls it round his body and he's snuck it home from behind. Well, they wanted a goal badly to start this third quarter, kicking into a slight breeze. Chris Mainwaring starting the second half on the bench, Bernie.
Yeah, surprising, but they have manned up very well, the Brisbane Bears, in that first half. Mainwaring, one of the players who couldn't get into the game. Notice Hines is now doing the ruck work for the West Coast Eagles.
Waterman on. Some indecision eventually, goes straight down the middle.
All Bears there. Merritt knocks it forward. Ashcroft has got it. Runs into trouble. Chris Lewis comes away with the ball and boots it out wide. Langdon in front of Champion. Champion leads back in the race. Green has it knocked away by Langdon. Hetty tries to go off the ground. Langdon does inside the attacking 50. Leslie stood his ground well against the flow. Feeds it out wide. Lucky. Lost there by Bain. Matera could have been held and again. And we'll get the free kick this time.
It's very bad handball. They did all the hard work winning possession of the ball and then just wasted. A long kick would have been so much better.
Well, their history is littered with that, the Brisbane Bears. Matera looking for Sumich. Here's Nichols in the pocket, wants his left side, pulls it back. Good kick. No, didn't carry to Pios. He got it on the half volley. He's a strong customer, gets away from the tackler. Waters about 35 metres out from goal. Well played. Worsfold to Lewis. Lewis pulls it back. It's a goal.
When you've got really serious work to do, it might not be enough to just have a big V6 under the bonnet. That's why Mitsubishi proudly bring you the new Triton 3-litre V6 cab chassis with four-wheel drive. The new Triton V6. Have a think about it. Or as the boys at Mitsubishi might say, please consider.
White prepares himself once again. The ruck work with Hines, and it's Hines the big winner. Ashcroft overruns it. David Bain tries to soccer off the ground. It's successful in finding Hart, but then Langdon claims Bain in a very good tackle. Hart also is claimed. Kemp could have been held. In fact, he is, said the umpire. Ashcroft infringing. And Kemp will take it just forward of right centre wing. Sumich will be his target. Out he comes. Got a hand to it, but that was all. Pios in front. Bounces one in towards goal, but it bounces just too far left. And the one behind. So the Eagles kicking with this slight breeze. 7-11 plays 6-6. Matthew Campbell again to bring it back into play. Will he go straight down the middle? Pretty well. Hines got a hand to it. Bain and Matera working hard. So too was Kemp. Oh, and eventually, somehow, Ashcroft got out of that lock and kicks nicely up to the right half forward flank region. Oh, Hutton is loose on that right flank. Steadies from 60 metres. Passes in towards full forward. The pass is a good one, and the mark is going to be paid. And the kick will be taken by Worsfold.
Very lucky to be awarded that mark, I felt. Worsfold on a very good lead. Good play by Ashcroft, getting out of jail there somehow. But look at this. Awarded, but I don't think he held it long enough, Dennis. No, you looked a little surprised. What do you feel?
Oh, no way.
Now, he had a shot at the other end of the ground on the run. He should have kicked it. So what is he going to do this time, Bernie?
Well, from a set shot, I think that he may kick this one, Sandy. I'm backing him to kick this, in fact.
I think Robert Walls is thinking about getting him off for dropping the marks.
From 35 metres, almost directly in front. And he's listened to Bernie Quinlan. He's kicked it.
Yes, well, Brisbane answering the challenge thrown out by the West Coast. They've started ferociously in their second half as well. And there's a player who kicked that goal, Peter Worsfold. And there's John Hutton finding a lot of space. A well-delivered kick into that forward line. And Dennis Cometti and I looked at each other in surprise, because that should never have been paid a mark. But a good kick from Worsfold from about 35 metres out, keeping Brisbane in touch.
So the margin is back to 5 points then. Going goal for goal early in this third term. Good crowd at Carrara. Tough game of football. Worsfold playing his 100th towards half forward with a kick. Nichols in front, punched away by Green. Champion did nicely in a tight situation. Gassed it to Noonan. Now the execution. Will this be better? Yes, it is from Leslie. He finds the man running free on the wing. Man again. Ashcroft across to McLucky, who goes down inside the attacking 50, and the ball proceeds to run out of bounds. Generally, it's that last piece of work, that last link in the chain that's let them down. That time, the disposal by Leslie coming out was good.
bad option, though. The kick into the forward line, wasn't it, Dennis, as you called the last little bit of play, because that magnificent defence, players on the overlap, just kept on running and supporting each other.
Merritt battles after the ball. Porthelman goes off the ground. This is Laidley, slung. Jakovic clears the zone. Brennan takes the mark. Just outside the defensive 50 for the West Coast Eagles. Towards the wing, Langdon misjudged it completely. Heady didn't, went it beautifully off hands. Waters, meters in the clear, but fumbles. Now he's in trouble. Bain closing, that's holding the ball. Well, almost. Well played by David Bain. Badly played by the West Coast Eagles. This is Noonan. Hurried kick out towards the wing. Matera, though, drifting back. Now he'll go. Matera, long high kick. Leslie will go back with courage, no question. Always does. And takes the mark. Leslie to Campbell. Bain the target. With some time, Bain. Short, McCluckie. Intent on drawing a man. Now he goes by Matera. Then kicks out wide. Noonan's run on. Down the outer side. He's got the run of the ball. Windsor couldn't control it. He's over the ball now. Not really going at it with any conviction. White falls on top of it. And there will be a bounce as Turley comes off the ground and Mainwaring comes on.
Well, he has been very quiet. Craig Turley hasn't had a good start to the season for the West Coast Eagles. Last year's best and fairest winner for the Eagles.
From the bounce. Free kick's been picked up and it's going to go the way of the Bears. Truckee coming in and handing over the football. Looks like Danny Noonan's going to take it. So a vital kick for the Bears. Noonan could give Brisbane the lead from 45 metres. Oh, it's a good-looking drop punt. I think he's got there. He has.
At Westpac, we understand that when it comes to looking after your own, there's no place like home. And to make buying your home easier, we're offering you a special low interest rate of just 9.25% per annum, together with one low bank establishment fee of $250. This is a limited offer, so talk to your Westpac manager today, because we want you to be as comfortable with your home loan as you are with your new home. Back in the middle once again. This crowd, although it's not big, has found plenty of it voice. Or just voice. We're all getting excited. Good to see. White gets up high, but it's Hines who wins it. Who can take it out of the centre? Champion tries to get a hurried left foot kick, can't do so. Langdon plays on to Waters. Backs through some heavy traffic to Kemp. Up to the half forward line. Mainwaring has just come onto the ground. And will this be the quick reply? He's too far out to goal, but he'll chip in towards the pocket region. That's effective. Hines had drifted down into that area. And he is within scoring distance, but again he's going short. Pios gives him the pass. He's going to have a shot from 50 metres. Pios making sure that he doesn't crib any meterage at all, the man on the mark. Paul Pios. Actually kicking from about 55 metres, Sandy. Yeah, he's going to be. He's kicked two, one in the first and one in the second. At the moment, the Bears lead by a point. The Eagles kicking with the breeze. Kick from Pios is not going to make the distance. Champion sets himself. White comes over the top. No one able to get it out of there, and eventually taken over for one behind. So scores locked together. The Bears on a high at the moment. They're kicking into the breeze. Wide towards centre wing. Windsor is there. Couldn't take the mark. Now Worsfold playing game number 100. Would dearly love a win too, but his kick on this occasion drops short. It's going to be Green. Ashley Green kicking back towards Hutt. Couldn't take the mark. Worsfold again, tidying up across half back to Kemp, who's got a bit of time. Has a look across the centre. Lewis comes out to meet the football. Sneaking away from Noonan. Quickly off to Matera. In towards goal. He goes over the top, and there's the quick reply, and the Eagles are back in front.
Oh, good. Hot enough, yeah, it certainly is.
What'll be, fellas?
Foster's light, thanks. So, yes, time to move to a new... Oh, I don't know. Happens every time. I make that too.
Only one light beer goes over the top for taste. Foster's Light.
Lapse in concentration by Danny Noonan, hurting the Bears that time. 3 quick possessions on the outer side. He got caught up in the emotion of the thing and forgot about Lewis and paid the price. Bain going nowhere, dragged down by Langdon, who pressed him when he was on the ground. A bit happening down there.
Looked a little bit high from my position, Dennis.
Noonan squared it. Champion tackles Lamb. Down he goes. Away comes Gastiff, but a whistle and a free kick to Lamb on the outer side. Wayne Lamb wasting no time, kicks inside the 50, intended for Sumich, low to the ground, he couldn't hang on. Green is tackled out of it. Headies over the ball, back comes Green, well played, gets it off to Noonan. Hurried kick towards the outer side, Hart's in front out there. Kine bounce, good tackle applied by Langdon, close to the boundary line.
He was legged too. He was legged.
Oh, he did slip down, didn't he?
Good Western Australian tackle, maybe.
Well, I thought it was a good tackle initially, but did slip down as he went after the ball the second time. Here's Clark. In short, Hutton. He's done that a couple of times tonight. Laidley, Brennan. And Hines didn't look at the ball. Champion did. Lamb, well done. Langdon down towards the pocket with a kick. Gastiff in front. Well played. Knocked it to his own advantage. Lewis put his body in. Kemp couldn't control it. Champion over it now. Back it comes to Kemp. Strong tackle. Gastiff got him down. Retzlaff in trouble. They're going in solidly on the outer side. Green wasn't watching the ball. Still he goes though, Green. He's over it now. Knocked away by Palfreyman, who goes back in after it. Palfreyman goes down. And there's a whistle, and it's going to be a free kick to the young former Tasmanian.
Well, amazing how they can finally pull out a decision from that, actually Bain giving it back to Palfreyman and then taking it and running on.
Short to Hart. Away to Retzlaff. Hart against the boundary line towards half forward. Very good mark. Michael Brennan.
Just on the defensive side of centre. Gives it to his skipper. Bernie, you've been coming here for a while. Have you seen desperation from a Bears side like this many times?
Well, I saw there were signs the last match
Fitzroy
here against Fitzroy. They looked very good. And also that first match against Carlton until that last quarter.
So this year?
Yes, I think there is a little bit of hope for the Brisbane Bears. A bit of experience. Still a very young side. But I think if they keep performing like this, they'll have plenty of support from people up here on the Gold Coast.
Leslie did it well to Champion, but Main Waring gave it straight back to Matera, who heads for home once again with another kick in towards goal, and he's popped through another one. So 2 quick goals to Peter Matera. 9-12 the Eagles, leading Brisbane 8-6.
Yes, well, he's a danger player, I feel, Peter Matera at the moment. He's getting away from Steve McClucky. As we watch this in replay, Main Waring, who spent a little bit of time on the bench, feeding it out to Peter Matera, and he finishes his work so very well. A great drop punt kick for goal there from Peter Matera. 2 goals coming in this third quarter for him.
So the Eagles lead by 2 goals, and that's probably the value of the breeze that they have in this quarter. Bounce is not a good one. Kemp gets ripped off the football. Clark waits for it to come out. It doesn't. Now he goes in and tries to get it. But, the umpire in the meantime has picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Eagles, to be taken by Carl Langdon.
They are very tough backs, those at the moment.
Langdon towards half forward. Main Waring can't get clear. Pios can, but wants someone going past. It's Kemp from a standing start. He pumps it high. Heady's been very quiet. Gastev's had the better of him. Kicks wide to Leslie. Eagles about to make a change with Harding coming back onto the ground. Leslie short. McClucky.
Oh, that should be up the field, surely. Slung after he kicked that by Main Waring.
Windsor lost it. A socket off the ground, past Brennan. Look at the pace of Ashcroft. Pushing the ball along in front of him and hassled by Brennan, who should have given away a free kick, and he has.
Belatedly, wasn't it? I don't think it's going to be Ashcroft, but he should have got the first one.
No, it'll be Hutton. Pios off. And Hutton. stabs it towards half forward. Clark takes the mark. And this crowd here tonight loving this game. Well, they may. The Bears right in it. David Bain's going to have a shot directly in front, the end of the breeze, 40 metres out.
It's not a long kick at the football either, David Bain. There's a replay of that. Good low trajectory kick there from Troy Clark. David Bain will be tested at 45 metres.
I think he'd like to find something, but he's got to have a shot. Oh, it's not a bad looking kick. What are you talking about, Bernie? It's gone straight through the middle.
In both the NRMA and Motor Magazine Awards, Mitsubishi recently won the important Best Family Sedan category with the new TR Magna. NRMA's road test engineer Bob Hudson justified selecting the Magna in a category previously dominated by Ford and Holden by saying the TR Magna imparted a feeling of class and solidity in the way it looked and drove that put it ahead of the pack.
Back to 6 points. Just over 11.5 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Hines with a big fist away. It's taken by Champion. They've almost been holding the ball. Yes, Langdon to get the free kick. Wasn't being retarded that strongly by Langdon, but Langdon had him. Kicks inside the 50. Coming back, Green got a hand on the ball. Heady looking for Harding, running away from his own goal. Matera, who's got 2 in this term, just outside the 50 now. Peter Matera pulls it back for a more central situation and showing courage. Noonan goes back with a flight of the ball. Tries to square it rather untidily. This is Campbell with some time. Not a good kick. It ricochets off Clark and goes out of bounds. Well, if you were backing a side to come from behind, it wouldn't be the Brisbane Bears. When they trailed at halftime last season, the Bears were 0 from 13. Thrown in on the outer side. Leslie sharked by Kemp. Away to Laidley. 60 metres out from goal. Down towards the kickoff line. Gaston held surely. There's Nichols. Hard against the boundary line. Banana kick is a pretty good effort. Just missed. And Gastiv making the point quite rightly to the umpire. What constitutes a free kick when the ball's in the air? He was being held, clearly. You're right, John, but you won't win it.
Ball on the defensive 50-metre line for the Eagles. Green towards the centre. Hart has the ball knocked out. Lewis gives it away. Plenty of pressure on the Eagles as Leslie takes the mark. Gives it once again back to Ashley Green, who drifts it across to Retzlaff. Down towards centre wing he goes. Hutton takes the mark. Time ticking away in this third quarter. Hutton towards half forward. Here comes Merritt steaming out, but he can't take the mark. Is he going to get a free kick? Yes.
You look lucky, I think, Sandy.
Roger Merritt hasn't had a profound effect on this game tonight. But the question may be asked of him comes down to the last man standing in the final quarter. He wants White, couldn't take the mark, in fact lost sight of the football. Brennan goes in, loses it. McCluckie towards full forward. Which way will it bounce? It's bottled up there. Hutton was there. Oh, Lewis goes in over the top. It's tight and it's tough.
Oh, Lewis very dangerous. Could have almost given away a free kick there. No indiscriminate tackle. Brisbane Bears not too happy with Chris Lewis. Right in front of goal there. It could have easily have gone the way of the Brisbane Bears.
Well, critical time. And it's put out of bounds. And out of bounds on the full. It's brought back in. Ashcroft has it. And he has it 25 metres from goal, but on a 45-degree angle. Marcus Ashcroft has kicked 2 goals to date, but he's had a very good game. 15 and 6. This to make the margin a point. Oh, it's a lovely kick off the boot. He's done it.
This week on Sports World, division within the AFL. On the cards, 2 teams for Western Australia and 2 competitions to play in. And some good news, some bad news on the international front. The US Masters slips away from Craig Parry, but 500cc Top Gun Michael Doohan takes out a 3rd Grand Prix. We've got all the action from Randwick's Doncaster Handicap and join the world's top surfers at Bells Beach. That's this week on Sports World.
'66 plays '67. Home team doing very well. Back in the middle, Hines. Got it across to Kemp, the runner, who comes away from the middle, swings it out wide. Langdon with some space and time. Puts it down towards the attacking 50. Again, Gaster very close to Hetty. Got it away from him. Across it came to Bain. The kick not a good one, though. And Hines just forward of the wing for the West Coast Eagles. And plays on. Long kick. They'll contest about 40 metres out. Sumich had it fisted away by Campbell, who's done well back there. Clark out wide. Champion's got the run of it. Langdon stumbled. Hutton got him then. Champion on his knees. Hutton knocks it on. Well done. Confronted by Brennan. Out of bounds, Windsor. And a throw in.
Great stuff there from John Hutton, supplying the shepherding. Unfortunately, Brisbane Bears player there, Richard Champion, his teammate, just stumbling at the critical stage.
Stephen Nash calling off Harding, and Pios back out on the ground.
Pios goes onto the forward line. Meantime, it's thrown in. Merritt gets it down. Noonan couldn't control it. Bain was taken high. Rather untidy effort there by Langdon.
Yes, they've been untidy at times, the West Coast Eagles. They're not accustomed to such pressure. In the last couple of weeks, though, they've certainly lowered their colours. And tonight, the Brisbane Bears could provide the biggest upset of all time, Dennis.
Bain, tireless and fearless, goes down towards half forward. There's been a day of upsets in the AFL. Just another one. Wadley goes over the top. This is Kemp. Sydney winning today, Essendon winning today, and the Bears taking it right up to the West Coast Eagles. Hetty, great mark in front of Gastiff, and that's the sort of mark he's forced to produce to beat John Gastiff tonight. Gastiff has been a great acquisition here for the Brisbane Bears. Ball inside the attacking 50. Bain at the base of all of that. Gastiff, the second man taken in the '89 March draft. Who was the #1 pick, actually? That's a good trivia question.
Got me. I give up.
Barry Winton, to St Kilda. It's a free kick to the Bears. It'll be taken by Champion.
That's no relation to Brian Winton, is it?
That's Ennis.
Champion between the back pocket and half back. Kicks towards centre wing. Merritt got a high, handling it, couldn't complete it. Gastiff cleverly paddles on, gets it away from Ladley, but Matera's very quick. He gets front spot, but Gastiff hassles him over the line.
Actually, I was at Brian Winton's place last night. Amazing that you should mention that. I was at a dinner party at his place, so there's another bit of trivia.
To tell him about my handwriting.
It's unbelievable. Thank you anyway, Bernie, for those social notes. Let's get back to the game. It's a beauty. Clark gives it away to Noonan. Pulls around his body. Hutton looked for the free kick. Didn't come his way. The Eagles under great pressure in defence. Mitchell White gets it clear. Now a chance for Jakovic. A high kick. Back towards the centre he goes. But waiting at the back to take a timely mark is Champion. He played on. He's got Clark loose. Lewis is right behind him. He goes back and will take his kick. Well, this is going to be a ripper last quarter, so wherever you're watching, I hope you can stay with us. Clark kicked in the man on the mark, but picked it up beautifully. Takes on Matera and almost gets away with it. Hutton gives it back to Clark. Kicks it high up towards the forward line, and almost a mighty steal, but not paid against Kemp. With him is Ashcroft, and so we will have another bounce. On the right half forward flank. Hutton over the top, gains 25 metres. Bernie reminisces about his dinner party last night, and time ticks away.
Just a terrific effort this by the Brisbane Bears. They trail by a point. They'll have the breeze in the final term. There's the time remaining. They're a big chance. Big pack around this ball. Noonan met very solidly by Lewis. Kemp goes off the ground. Back towards midfield. Hines. Waterman. Langdon. Forward of the centre circle now, Carl Langdon. Sumich on the lead. Over his head. Hetty and Gastiff. Gastiff gets goal side of him, but Hetty comes around and centres the ball and finds Sumich.
Well, able to find a bit of space through the centre of the ground there, the West Coast Eagles, and that's when they're the most dangerous. And Brett Hattie and Peter Sumich combining, two players back into the side. They really need these two firing if they're going to be a force again, Dennis. Peter Sumich and Brett Hattie.
Good combination that time. Sumich just the one goal and a string of behinds. This probably his easiest shot tonight. Kicks from about 35 metres out. I think he's got it home. He has. That's a goal they needed desperately. 10-13 plays 10-6 and Sumich has two.
There's 2 goals for. He kicked very inaccurately in that second quarter when he kicked 3 behinds. But, the second effort there very important. He was led under the ball by Matthew Campbell, who's done a very good job playing at fullback on Peter Sumich. Then he was able to break loose and receive that very good pass from Brett Hattie.
7 points the margin, favouring the Eagles. Bear in mind the Bears will come home with the breeze here at Carrara. Back in the middle once again. Bain, oh, he works so hard. Would have almost been a free kick to McCluckie. Ripped off the football. The play goes on. White, the big man, moves beautifully. His hand pass to Bain, misses his target, but he follows it up. This is reminiscent of what he did a couple of weeks ago. He's lost it now, however, to Nichols. Trent Nichols sidesteps nicely, gives it across to Matera. Just on 3 minutes remaining. 3 very important minutes in this game. Noonan to Leslie. Gets it away to his teammate there in green. Towards the half-forward line and pushed into the ball. Taking a good mark was Waterman in opposition to Polframer. Kemp. The outer wing, Worsfold. Now I've got to give chase to Retzlaff. Not out of trouble yet, but Ashcroft gets them out of trouble. Stabbing up towards half-forward. Lawrence Shackey called a play on, and Shackey does. Long, he wants Huck. He's got to beat a couple of them. Lamb in particular. Lamb recovers. Bain now gives chase. And Dwayne Lamb hustled over the line. So a throw-in on the Bears' right half-forward flank. You think the breeze is still worth 2 or 3, Bernie?
Oh, it's pretty hard to say, Sandy. They seem to be getting a fair amount of distance. The Bears kicking a goal down to the right of screen as well.
Free kick. Roger Merritt cannot believe it, but it's been paid to Jakovic. Langdon may come over the top here. Champion couldn't take it at the first attempt. Green gives him a second chance. It's a floating high kick. Merritt tries to tap it over the back. Can't do so. Lamb runs into an absolute brick wall. McCluckie's kick is smothered, and a throw in on the Bears' right half-forward flank. Tight, tough football here at Carrara. And the crowd really getting into the game too, showing their enthusiasm. Bain can't take it. Lewis. Noonan, his opponent. Short kick. Jakovic tried to tap over the back. Bain has it socket out of his hands, but he goes again. It eludes White. Great stuff. Long kick by White for the Eagles down towards the half-forward line. Leslie couldn't take it. Heady in front, chipping to half-forward. Worsfold has great courage. Couldn't complete the mark. Mainwaring's had a very dirty night. Pios shrugs the tackle. Left foot's in towards full forward, but there is no one at home, and once again the Bears should get out of trouble as Retzlaff has it in the back pocket.
Retzlaff, Members side, hugging the boundary. Ashcroft up. His hands and out of bounds. Some of these youngsters really stepping up for the Brisbane Bears. There's one man who's had a fine night and another on the siren. 3/4 time. Young Green's been another player to perform in that quarter. So Brisbane trail by 7 points at 3/4 time. The West Coast Eagles are 10-13. The Brisbane Bears are 10-6.
Can't beat the music. 18 mad hits coming at you with Baby Animals.
One word, one letter, one line.
Jimmy Barnes.
Ain't no mountain high
George Michael and Elton John. Hit after hit on Can't Beat the Music. Maybe Dolls, Danny and Desiree. The KLF. If you're justified and committed, you can't beat the music.
This week, you can walk into Kmart with next to nothing and walk out with just about everything.
Take me to the top. This is the place I love, Terranora Lakes Resort and Country Club. Yes, 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 Terranora.
Drive up or catch a free coach from Brisbane or the Gold Coast.
Take me to the top, Terranora Lakes
Country Club and Resort.
Take me to the top.
If you knew absolutely nothing of the ways of the world and couldn't speak and barely see, can you imagine how important touch would be? Or the feeling of warmth and care, knowing you're safely looked after, close to family in a comfortable, homely environment. That's what it's like to be a newborn baby at Boothville Maternity Hospital.
This is the incredible CLR Clear, an amazing product that instantly dissolves calcium and lime stains that you can't scrub away. Watch as CLR dissolves calcium and lime scales from the swimming pool filter. Have you ever seen anything like it? No amount of scrubbing was able to remove the stain from this coffee decanter, but a little CLR and water gets it crystal clean instantly. Watch how Clear wipes away hard water film from tiles, makes shower doors shine crystal clean. Incredible CLR instantly removes unsightly rust stains from your bathtub, sink and toilet bowl. And nothing cleans your coffee maker, tea kettle or pots and pans faster or better. Get incredible CLR. It will work for you or your money back. CLR Clear. Available from these leading retail outlets.
Round 5 continues over Easter, and if you can pick 3 out of 3, well done in the next 3 games. Tomorrow it's Adelaide and Richmond at Football Park in South Australia. Monday, well, they're great rivals over many years, Melbourne and Collingwood, and a very important game for both sides, as is the one at Princes Park, Fitzroy and St Kilda. 3 great games. Wherever you may be viewing around the country, though, check your local guides for details. We've got a great game here at Carrara going at the moment. It's anybody's game. The West Coast hold a 7-point lead going into the final term. 10-13 plays 10-6.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1992 AFL Premiership season.
1, 2, 3, 4. You're going hard, you play it fair. You grease your legs, you tint your hair. Don't hand pass in the back line. Gotta put in before half time. Yes, the cry of ball's been heard a lot tonight, but not ball, yeah. However,
Both parties are breaking up for what should be a big last quarter. For his report on the three-quarter time addresses, here once again is Bill.
Thank you, Sandy. A fine quarter the Bears played. Then a fine game they're having, actually. And Robert Wallace said to them before the game, believe in yourself, believe you can win if you're all having a go, and they're doing exactly that. And he told them the same. Keep going, you're having a go, it's all working. You're rattling the Eagles. Just keep up the pressure, and you should get up there very confident of getting away with this game. Well, Mick Mollhouse had plenty to say to the players. No hidden agenda, he said. It's just man on man, pressure stuff now. You've got to pick your man, and you just got to play hard football. They've made it hard for themselves. Lock the ball up on the forward line a little bit more. It's coming out to Weasley, the Bears defenders, just running it out. And basically he said, it's up to you now. You've really got to work hard. You've got yourself into a position.
Well, Bernie, can the Eagles hold on, or can the Bears take it? They're trailing by 7 points.
Well, it's still anybody's game at this stage, Sandy. I think the Brisbane Bears have been very competitive tonight, and maybe the West Coast Eagles went into this match a little bit, a little bit lackadaisical and took the Brisbane Bears a bit lightly. But maybe in this sort of situation, you would favour the West Coast Eagles. Look at the stats, though. They're fairly even, as you would expect. The tackle's interesting. The West Coast Eagles have lifted that because they were well behind early in the match, and the hit-outs in favour of the Brisbane Bears, 28-21. Look at those centre breaks. The West Coast Eagles getting right on top in that department after half-time and towards the second half of the second quarter.
For what should be and what could be a memorable final quarter here at Carrara. Lewis and Noonan still in the middle. Centre bounce to start the final quarter. It's won by White but taken by Kemp. The Eagles go down towards half forward, towards Hetty and Gastev. And the latter has had the better of Hetty in this duel so far.
I think Hetty's done a hamstring too. He really pulled up very short there, Sandy.
Yes, it was Nichols who took over the chase. He does look bad behind play. Hines stands his ground as Hutton charges towards him, but he takes a good mark.
There's a bit of strife for Brett Hetty. I think he might be coming off.
It'll be a bitter blow for him if it is a hamstring, and he's coming off. So not good news. Champion, however, gives it away to Campbell. The Bears drift it back towards the centre. Noonan takes the mark. He sneaks away from Lewis and goes down towards the half-forward line. Merritt just a deft little tap on towards Windsor, who can run into the open goal, and he's kicked it. What a start for the Bears.
When you've got really serious work to do, it might not be enough to just have a big V6 under the bonnet. That's why Mitsubishi proudly bring you the new Triton 3-litre V6 cab chassis with four-wheel drive. The new Triton V6. Have a think about it. Or as the boys at Mitsubishi might say, please consider.
Back in the middle. Brisbane, as they've done all game long, coming back. Kemp towards the outer side half-forward flank. Worsfold leading back in the race. Pios comes up to meet the ball. He's about 60 metres from goal. Pulls it back very high. They'll contest about 20 metres out. Lewis read it brilliantly off hands, then missed the ball. Quick whistle. As the umpire realising these players now on a pretty short fuse. It's been a very physical game. And a bounce inside the attacking 50 for the West Coast Eagles. Chris Lewis has put himself about tonight. Langdon doing the ruck work, beats Champion. Waters smacks. That's a very good goal. Scott Waters in the congestion made something out of nothing, gets his first, and a breather for the West Coast Eagles. The margin is back to 7 points.
Yes, well, a vitally important goal there to the West Coast Eagles to maintain that margin. Brisbane Bears fighting hard to keep the West Coast Eagles at bay, but Waters, a very clever snap on that left boot. Just came out of nothing, out of the congestion, slammed it onto the boot, and a very good goal.
Back in the middle once more. Hines getting a big run at the football. White flicking it over the top. Who can take it out of the middle? Waters it is, who starts it off. Over the top now as it's Mainwaring almost down to half forward. Left puts it up towards the forward zone. Gastev there to do the tidying up work at the back. Has a bounce coming out of defence. Goes wide towards centre wing. And the mark taken by McCluggin. Over the top he goes for Champion. He's put him under pressure. He goes back to McClucky, who follows play down. This time over the top to Ashcroft. Marcus Ashcroft, a centering kick in towards White. Can't produce the spectacular mark. Kemp across half-back. Sweeping it wide. Matera, one bounce. Two out of trouble with a kick. Towards the half-forward line. Gastier would have been holding on. Campbell through strongly. Feeds it towards David Bain. Loses the football. Was he held? Umpire lets play go on. Lewis now goes to ground. Turley's handball partly smothered by Hart. In comes Champion. Gets a quick kick, a clever kick. It gains 30 metres and will have a throw in on the outer side.
Paul Harding waiting to come back on. It'll be interesting to see who they bring off. Turley is out there playing on a half-forward flank. He's nursing a cork. He's out there in place of Heady. White decisively down to Clark. Well done. McClucky drives it around the outer side, down towards right half-forward. Hutton storming up the ground. Has marked this one just inside the boundary line.
This has been his best game for the Bears.
Centering kick. Mainwaring in front. It goes behind. Retzlaff had an opportunity, couldn't control the ball. Jakovic away to Laidley. Laidley from left half-back goes towards the boundary line. Back goes Matera. Off his fingertips and out of bounds. Turley is off the ground again. Yes, he looks very proppy, Craig Turley. He's got that cork close to the boundary line in front of our commentary position, I think, in the second term.
That right thigh heavily bandaged, Dennis.
Throw in. Hines in front. White from behind. Hines almost worth a kick. Gained about 25-30 metres. Clark goes to ground. Pushes it across the boundary line. 11-13, 11-6. The early going in the final term at Carrara. Both these sides looking for their second victory of the season. Important game, this one. The season so far punctuated with upsets. Hines away to Waters towards half-forward. This is Hart on the burst. Humps it back into the forward line for the Bears. Jakovic comes to the ball, pushed out of it. Back goes White. Oops. Loses it. Windsor with strength, got rid of him. Worsfold can't control it. White emerges with it. Untidy looking handball. Down went Worsfold. Grabbed by Mainwaring. Feeds the hand pass out. Was dealt with unfairly, having hand passed the ball. Relayed free kick to be taken by Waterman.
Kicks up towards Johnny Worsfold, playing his 100th game, and he takes it at half-back. Chips towards the wing. Langdon. The Eagles have it down towards their half-forward line. Hines lost sight of it, but this exciting young player for the Bears, Darryl White, did not. May have to go in and make amends. He does so. Across to Clark. Retzlaff as another heavy one sees a Bears player go down and Champions after Langdon. But we'll keep our eye on the football. It's with Windsor almost down to the 50-metre line. Once again, now Lamb. Tackled high, loses the football. Matera soccers off the ground, close to the boundary line. Beautifully picked up. And seen over the line, Nichols.
That was really, Sandy, that was unnecessary.
That Ashcroft again.
That's Ashcroft who received a very heavy bump from Carl Langdon after it delivered a hand pass.
That's three really hard knocks he's got so far tonight, and he's back out there.
Back on his feet, and he certainly won't be coming off very easily. Marcus Ashcroft, a real fighter.
Does the ruck work. But it's Pios who takes the mark. These two sides have met on 8 occasions, and the perfect record at the moment is with the Eagles. 8-zip. Hard over the line.
Ashcroft seems to be okay. A local product from Southport. Should be proud of him. This area. Football struggles sometimes. Here's Sumich going back. Missed it. Now Campbell goes over the top. Kept his head well. This is Green bouncing it out of defence. His second bounce. Sumich working hard after it. Green brings it up to midfield. Probing kick towards Merritt at half-forward. Strong mark. No, he couldn't hang on. He's going to get a free kick for over the shoulder. Merritt wasting no time. There's a man on closer to goal, and the mark is...
Oh, that could be 50.
And should be 50.
It will be 50. The umpire taking Lewis back. Unnecessary play there by Chris Lewis.
Some very undisciplined football by a couple of the West Coast Eagles. Now Noonan goes to point-blank range.
He's done a very good job tonight, Danny Noonan. Have a look at this in replay. He takes the mark, a good strong mark, and just slung to the ground there by Chris Lewis.
Noonan has one. Now Reed's two.
When you have a serious headache, or migraine headache, muscular aches, or back pain, take Panadine, the strength of codeine, yet gentle to the stomach. Use Panadine only as directed, and if pain persists, see a doctor. Panadine tablets, available only from pharmacies. Strong pain, powerful Panadine.
By a point. He says a coach's lot is an easy one. Goal for goal at the moment. White wins it. Laidley could have infringed in the back. Play goes on. Clark working hard. And again, the umpire comes in and decides to have a bounce.
Again, that extraordinary leap from Darryl White in the centre square. He just sort of floats up there and done an amazing job in the ruck for a player that you would not expect with his centimetres to be playing there.
Just 182 or 3 centimetres in height. Lewis hammers it towards the boundary line. Matera should be first to it. Palfreyman hassling him. Did he hold it? Did he nudge him?
Pushing the back. Matera to take the free. I think most of the crowd, of course, most of the crowd going with the Brisbane Bears. A couple in the commentary box might be going for the Brisbane Bears.
Matera's kick. Over the back it goes. Noonan claimed by Waterman. Don't know who you're talking about, Bernie. Must be the Winton brothers. Throw in. Out of side. White again. Lewis couldn't win it cleanly. Bain got a hand to it, but that was all. Noonan, but something going on behind play. It's a free kick to the Eagles, and it's going to be Paul Pios who's going to take it outside 50.
Would be a chance here, Dennis, wouldn't he? Maybe 55, maybe just a little bit too far for Pios.
Yeah, test him, I think.
Drop punts on its way. It's going to go into the square. Langdon used the body. He used it illegally, said the umpire. The advantage is paid, and away comes David Bain, bouncing his way down the half-back line, and then just chips it towards Gastev, who could have gone over the top with a hand pass, eventually backpedals a little to Clark. Retzlaff was the target he could have initially gone to. He sees it over the line with Michael Brennan. So the Eagles grimly hanging on, trying to make it 9-zip. Contests with the Bears. So this has been one of the best games I think we've seen from this ground for many a long year. Noonan's left foot kick. Windsor took his eye off the football and is hanging on unmercifully.
As well, unfortunately,
White gets a kick to the boundary.
The umpire was on the blind side of that and couldn't see the tagging that was being done, but should have been a free kick paid there to Mitchell White.
Here's the throw-in. Noonan's kick smothered. Brennan over the top to Waters. Mainwaring. He too was held. Laidley gets clear. Matera's calling for it on the other side if he can just chip it across. He can. Right in the middle. On his hammers, McCluckie. Oh, some loose checking there as John Worsfold snuck away. Danger now as the Eagles drift it down towards Kemp. And he will have a shot 45 metres out. Dean Kemp, who coming into this game was the Eagles' leading kick winner this year, averaging almost 20 kicks a game. There won't be too many more as important as this one. They lead by a point at the moment. He's got the chance to make it 7. The drop punt's on its way, but he's drifted it right across the base for one behind. 2 points in.
Campbell kicks off straight down the middle. Again, those runners going by the pack, but this time Laidley takes the mark. Can they be caught on the rebound? Yes, they have been. Waters wants to draw a man, goes over the top to Langdon. Langdon about 20 metres out from goal, pulls it back, smothered off the boot brilliantly down there by Hunt, I think it was. Taken by Sumich, dragged down by Clark, spilt free to Noonan. Noonan comes away, grips it towards the outer side. The mark is held by Ashcroft. Plays on. He set Bain a task. He comes back to remedy the situation and does it brilliantly. Gets it across to Windsor. Hard against the boundary line. He pumps it back towards the attacking 50 for the Bears. Off the ground, Main Waring towards the outer side wing. Controlled well out there. White kicks towards centre wing. Just carries that position. Pios has it fisted away by Green. And he runs it across the boundary line. Well, in defence, Hart did brilliantly.
Yeah, great defence. Terrific inspirational stuff by the Brisbane Bears to hold up that play. Firstly from Langdon. Worsfold coming from the ground. Peter Worsfold, that is, for the Brisbane Bears. And Lawrence Shackey coming back on.
Hutton pumps it towards the boundary line, and I suppose that's the downside of that set play we talked about before. If you set those runners free to either side of the pack on the kickoff, if men don't run with them and the ball turns over as it did, there are loose men going back the other way, and the Eagles almost got a goal. But it says something for the adventurous spirit of Robert Walls and his players to try it in that situation. Hines back towards the half-forward line. This is Worsfold, lays it off, wanting too much time. Nichols knocked away by Champion, and the Bears will run it out again. Champion, Leslie in trouble now. Harding is there with him. Well done by the big man for the Eagles. Main Waring gets it off to Langdon. Langdon about 75 metres out from goal. Sumich towards the pocket. He's worried out of it by Campbell, who's been the master. It goes out of bounds and will be thrown in just inside the attacking 50 for the West Coast Eagles, who lead by 2 points. It's 80-78.
Great desperation. Great desperation. Wherever you're watching, I'm sure you're going to be enjoying this game. It's a beauty. Noonan over the line. Around 12 minutes remaining. Still anybody's game. White couldn't take it. Kemp a short little kick. Langdon wants Laidley and finds him. Off to Waters. Still outside 50. Chip in towards the forward line, and the mark is taken by Sumich. Well, he hasn't had his kicking boot on so far tonight, but he's in the perfect pocket. And here is his chance.
He's just kicked 2 goals for Peter Sumich. Been well held by Matthew Campbell, but favoured for a left footer, the right side of the ground to be kicking from.
Distance not a problem. This to make the margin 8 points. See the angle he has. His position on the ground. Oh, he's drifted it right across the face. Gastev comes over the top and hammers it over the line.
I think he's lost all confidence at the moment, Peter Sumich. Only kicking from about 40 metres out there. Normally swings out on that left side of his body and drags it back in, but not that time.
Waters, they've still got it in their attacking zone. Laidley snaps a goal, and I think he might have kicked it for the Eagles. He has.
No matter where you live in Australia, when it comes to carpet, there's only one thing you need to know. There's magic in a Solomon's carpet. Yes, Solomon's are Australia's largest carpet specialists, and in every Solomon store you'll find friendly expert service, a huge range of the finest carpets, and all at surprisingly low prices. Ha-ha! Remember, no one can carpet your home like Solomon's.
A Solomon's store offers so much more. Save in style at Solomon's.
They're magic.
Scott Waters has been a very valuable player, setting that goal up for Dean Laidley. Clark gets it away to Noonan. Towards half-forward with a kick. Next goal, vitally important. Down goes the goal kicker. That's Dean Laidley, penalised for holding the ball.
That's a good decision because he backed into the tackler. He knew the tackle was about to come and just backed into it.
Windsor kicks for space, mirrored on the lead, up he goes, couldn't quite hang on, it's spilled free. White comes away, run down by Wern from behind, who was held without it, socket off the ground by the Eagles, out towards the wing and Gastev. He's been a fine player. Langdon ran at him hard, taken by Shackey, back towards the attacking 50 for the Bears, up goes Merritt again, spills free. Eagles have the numbers, Waterman goes over the top. Out of bounds it goes. Main Waring content to run it across.
Free kick.
He was held without it, was he?
Yeah, unnecessary free kick there by David Wern. The ball was over the line anyway, so really just a wasted opportunity.
Main Waring towards the wing. All Bears. Gastev. Unkind bounce off the ground by Nichols. Well done, Noonan. He's done well on Lewis. The longer it's gone, the better he's done. Ashcroft superbly out of a nest of Eagles. Got it back to Noonan. Noonan's kick inside the 50. Nobody at home for the Bears. Taken by White. Sweeping hand pass. Sets Waterman away. Who pulls it back. Good vision. Saw Brennan unattended in midfield. Brennan towards half forward. Nichols will have to go. He couldn't. Gastov's in the road. At centre half back. The former Eagle. Gets it across to Bain. He certainly trained with the Eagles, but wasn't selected by them. And Noonan, what a fine game he's played.
Yes, had a great tussle with Chris Lewis. Goes down towards McCluckey on the right half forward flank. Should get a free kick.
Yes, he'll get it, Sandy.
He's too far out to score.
If he doesn't kick it to Ashcroft.
In real trouble if he had deja vu. Merritt a touch. Mainwaring. Well, this is just great football. Jakovic, great desperate football. Jakovic heads for the boundary line, and we've got ourselves another throw-in. Robert Walls looking for his team's second win of the season. They led Carlton here before going down by 24 points. Merritt's kick goes down towards the 50-metre line. They surge it towards half-forward. Clark picks it up, centering kick, clever kick. Mark not taken by Worsfold. That was his target.
Yes, I think he should have taken that one too, Sandy. It was a vital situation. Peter Worsfold, I don't think he's too happy with himself spilling that mark.
Well, let's see what happens here. They've got it down in the forward line. Worsfold is there once again. Can't do anything with it. Wern, fresh man on the ground. Got a chance, but couldn't take it cleanly. Hutton used the body. Spills free. Ashcroft can cover himself in glory as he goes in towards the square. But it's fisted over the line by Mitchell White for one behind.
Even that was a terrific kick by Ashcroft off one step, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Just knew where the goals were. Gee, I'm impressed with him.
Just over 7 minutes remaining, and still anyone's game.
There's White. The Eagles lead by 7 points. White goes in short to the pocket. Waterman generally uses the ball well. This is no exception. Jakovic. Another short one, Mainwaring. They're finding space now, the Eagles. It's a big round. Hines has it down towards left half forward. Kicks inside the attacking 50. Worsfold is up. He can run on if he wants to. The man on the mark comes back now. That's Hart, but he was overcommitted initially. But Worsfold deciding to hold up. A kick from just outside the 50. Long kick. They'll contest about 10 metres out. Gastov played so well again. A lazy kick, but all Bears. Langdon tries to force a passage, but Clark lays it off. Wern puts it out wide to Shackey. Shackey's on the wing. 12-14, 12-7. Merritt and Jakovic. And the young Tyro gets it across the boundary line. So a throw-in down towards left half forward for the Brisbane Bears. The clock, their enemy now. Got a boundary throw-in. They need a goal.
Jakovic and Merritt. Kemp has the ball held. Ashcroft steals it from him. High towards full forward. They need something. Hutton gets a bad bounce. Pressure now on the Eagles' defence. McCluckey goes through. Was he legged? The umpire says no. Hutton at the back has kicked the goal.
July 1992, Barcelona, Spain. The games of the 25th Olympiad. You will see every moment of drama as Brisbane's Olympic news team joins the rest of the 7 network contingent to report on the world's premier sports events. In the lead up to and during the Barcelona Games, rely on 7. The Summer Olympics, the Olympics the whole world will watch.
Presenting the Olympics, AMP. We'll always be there.
1 point the difference, favouring the Eagles. 5.5 minutes remaining. Who can win it out of the centre? Ashcroft got a touch, but that was all. Picked up by Kemp. Normally, the Eagles have been able to respond with a goal in very quick fashion. Worsfold does it nicely to Matera. They pump it down into that forward zone once again, down towards Sumic territory. It's fisted away from him. Nichols waiting down in front, but it's the Bears through Leslie who will clear. Storming out of half-back. Martin Leslie kicks over the centre. Hutton comes across and takes the mark. They're inspired at the moment. 3 goals to Hutton. And he'll send it down towards the half-forward line, towards Merritt. Oh, it's long. It's a torpedo punt down towards Worsfold. He couldn't take the mark. Mainwaring trying to tidy up for the Eagles. Nowhere to go. Just kicks it back towards centre half back. There's no one there, however, for the Eagles. 1 man against 3. Gastev gets a kind bounce. Sneaks away from Hines. That was the only Eagle there. On to David Bain. Over the top of Lewis. Now around him he goes. Set sail for home, but the ball slews off the side of the boot. A big pack of players. Taken by Windsor. Kicked down towards full forward. The bounce. Away from Lamb it goes. He's able to keep it in play. Gives it to Matera, and he steadies it down.
So the All-Australian wingman around the outer side. Long kick. Worsfold again slipping away from Hart. He's done that a couple of times in this turn. Close to the boundary line. Through centre goes the kick, reaching back. A fine mark is held by Green.
Yeah, great mark.
Played well. Centering kick. White to Shaki. Shaki towards half forward. Jakovic opposed to Merritt. Merritt controlled it. Mainwaring's got it under pressure. Feeds Kemp. Across it comes to Nichols. Inside the last 5 minutes of the game now. Waterman to Hines. The margin of point. The Eagles lead. Hines towards half forward. Matthew Campbell edged under the ball. Unfairly, says the umpire. He'll take the free. Receives the ball running. He storms away. Goes across the ground. Ashcroft is there. Great poise by Ashcroft. Uses the ball well. This is Paul Freeman. Plays on. This is McClucky. McClucky running towards centre half forward.
No.
Well, inexperienced there. Didn't look. The adrenaline was flowing. He kicked it straight to Lamb. Back come the Eagles. Mainwaring from half back towards centre wing. Look out. Almost a collision between 2 Eagles. Langdon's got it. Centering kick. Brennan will have to go here with a flight of the ball, and he does. Can go over the top. He heard the voice. Worsfold now. 40 metres from goal. John Worsfold in his 100th. Is pushed off it well. Out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. And the Bears will bring it out.
What a finish. What a game it's been. A point the margin. Precious seconds ticking away. The ball on the outer wing with McClucky. Under 2.5 minutes remaining. McClucky goes for distance and he tumbles it. It bounces over the top at half forward. Could have been holding on there to Waterman, and he will take it.
Yes, they've had a few sorties into this forward line, Sandy, in this final term. They just haven't had players down there to finish it off for the Brisbane Bears.
Waterman's kick back towards centre wing. Here's a chance for Gastev. He can shrug the tackle. He does. Gives it to Noonan, who's had a good game against Lewis, but there's a fine smother. Matera sets it up for Lewis. He could cover himself in glory, but he can't pick it up. So he taps it on cleverly to Worsfold. His hand pass was meant for Lewis. Instead it found Gastev. It could open the door for Noonan. He kicks it up towards half forward. Merritt wants a mark, but he can't take it. A tired David Bain runs towards the football. Gives it to White. Now he can kick any goal. He's 55 out. He's set sail for home. And he's kicked the behind and scores our 11th.
Oh, what
a finish.
Well, this is easily the best game we've seen on the Gold Coast.
Oh,
Sandy.
My word.
It's been an amazing performance by the Bears.
A minute 20 left. It's in the Bears attacking zone, but Waterman has it. Scores are level. Kemp on the outer side. 2 bounces. These players are tired, but Kemp keeps going. 3 bounces. A chip up towards Langdon. Any score will do at this stage. To half forward. Sumich taking time to get back into it. Kemp can cover himself in glory for the Eagles now. He shoots in towards goal and he's put it through. That could be the sealer for the West Coast Eagles. Kemp has kicked his first goal. And again, the West Coast sneak away with under 40 seconds remaining.
There's only 39 on the clock now, and the West Coast, I feel, have got this wrapped up. Very important centre bounce coming up. Darryl White has rucked tirelessly all night. He's really lifted himself in this last instance. And vital that the Bears, if they are to tie up this match, Darryl White must get this knockout and win the ball from the centre square.
Inside the last 40 seconds then. Laidley Here's a chance for the Bears. They can take it down and tie it. Around the other side, it's Clark. Finds Bain. He's 70 metres from goal. He pulls it back. We're down to 23 seconds. Merritt couldn't hang on. Worsfold lays it off. Hurried kick McCluckey. It goes straight up in the air. They contest 15 metres out. No contest. Windsor has taken this mark, and this could be it for the tie.
Amazing.
I hope he doesn't know how close it is to siren time. He may find out. This to tie the game if he gets a goal.
There's the siren.
Now he knows. The kick after the siren to tie for the young man. Ray Windsor's done it. It's a goal. So tie at Carrara.
Oh, what a finish.
What a finish.
2 goals to Windsor. Scores are level. And probably, Bernie, a fitting finish, the way these two sides have fought this out tonight. Here are the final scores. Brisbane 14-8, 92. Brisbane 14-8, 92 have drawn with the Eagles. 13-14, 92. And the crowd here streaming out onto the ground. Roger Merritt, well, young Jakovic did a pretty good job on him tonight.
Interesting to look at the expressions on these fans from the Brisbane Bears. I mean, a draw is a win as far as they're concerned against the side that qualified on top last season, the beaten grand finalists. My word, some of their young players were terrific in that final term. Enthusiasm counts for a lot in football and
sure
application. And some of those guys have grown, certainly in stature tonight. The Brisbane Bears, despite the fact they come away with just 2 points, I think, as a result of this game, have got far more than 2 points. And look at the expressions on the faces of the players.
And look at the crowd support there too, Dennis. They've been swamped. The crowd is really, it's been a very good crowd there tonight. Robert Wall's in there amongst his players.
Something we haven't seen a lot of. But let's go down to the ground, and here's Bill McDonald. Bill?
I got Matthew Campbell with me at the moment. Matthew, what a game tonight, mate. The Bears just committed for the whole night.
Yeah, close game all night. There wasn't much in it all night. A kick or two all night. And then, a tie. But, we didn't win the game, but at least we didn't lose it against the West Coast. So.
Well, Bears commitment all night tonight. They just didn't stop, did they?
Well, if you take that and the Fitzroy game, the 4 quarters, it just shows a change in commitment to keep working. And, things are looking pretty good.
Right, mate, we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, they're mad.
Thanks very much.
They are a bit mad, but they like winning. And who can blame them? So, a great game. What a dramatic finish. The game finishing in a draw. We shall take a break and return shortly to Parade.
Tonight. Time for action. Time for a movie bigger than your imagination. Let loose the Kraken! Where legendary heroes do battle with the most devilish of monsters. And love depends on the whim of the gods. Destroy Argos! Laurence Olivier, Harry Hamlin, Maggie Smith, Ursula Andress and Burgess Meredith in the breathtaking adventure.
A Titan against the Titan!
Clash of the Titans, 8:30 tonight on 7.
Well, we're nice folks to hang around with Sunny Household Products. Our clotheslines are really fine at Sunny Household Products.
Each of these Sunny clotheslines is now available at one price, only $245, fully installed, Noosa to Coolangatta and West to Toowoomba. Sunny Household Products, $245 fully installed. Act now. Phone within 60 minutes and receive a free clothes basket holder. Call 008-810-525.
We're nice folks to hang around with Sunny Household Products.
If you own furniture similar to these, you own something of value. Carlton Upholstery specialise in making old furniture live again. Springs, padding, webbing, everything is restored to its original state. Just a call on 3525 will bring our decorator to your home. And we work evenings so Dad can have a look. We carry all the latest decorative fabrics and leathers, and we always have specials for the budget conscious. Phone 3525 you'll love a new cover and you'll save as well.
The cyclone struck the towns of Ayr and Home Hill at 11 a.m. By 3 p.m. the same day, Suncorp specialists had assembled in Townsville.
And by the next morning, they were here, processing claims. Just 1 day later, the first cheque was handed over to cyclone victims.
We can attend to your claim in the shortest possible time too, because Suncorp has permanent branches like this all over Queensland. We strive to be first, fast and fair.
When the going gets tough, Suncorp Insurance is on your side. Insure your home and contents with Suncorp.
Well, if you may have just joined us, here is the scoreline for what has been a most thrilling game at Carrara tonight. No winners and no losers. A draw. Brisbane 14-8. The West Coast 13-14. Both scores finishing with 92. And Bernie, we've been coming up here for something like 5 years. I don't think we've seen a game like that here.
No, well, you know, there's plenty of people who have been prepared to knock the Brisbane Bears, but they're a young, spirited club. They've got players who are prepared to do the right thing. Some of the matchups tonight, the players went out there with a job, and they were totally committed to doing that job, and you can see what can happen. One season, the team that played off for the premiership last year, the West Coast Eagles, up against last year's Wooden Spooners, and in the season, which is very topsy-turvy, we've seen so many upset results so far in the year. You can see just what commitment can do, Sandy, and they're a young, committed side tonight, and full credit to them. And, you know, they didn't win the game, but they'd probably be disappointed that they didn't get away with the 4 points. But coming up against a side such as the West Coast Eagles, they just didn't allow them to get in any of their running game going, and it was just a fantastic performance by the Bears.
Some of the young boys, McClucky, who quite often we thought was Ashcroft, and vice versa as we have a look at some of the highlights, but they're just so committed.
Well, I've just written down a few names here. I thought Noonan's job on Lewis was magnificent. He just didn't allow Lewis into the game at all. Campbell on Sumich playing at fullback. Well, Sumich kicked 111 goals last year, and yet tonight he was very quiet. McClucky on Matera, you know, that was a match-up. Those players across the centre line had to be manned up very carefully, and McClucky did his job. Hard on Main Waring. Well, Main Waring was taken from the ground, and Robert Wall sent these players out with specific tasks, and they did the job and did it very well. Gestev on Hetty. Hetty went off the ground with an injured hamstring late in the match, but he certainly had no influence. He went off early in that last quarter, and this player, Windsor, kicked 2 vital goals in that last quarter. So, you know, you come up here and say, oh yeah, another hiding for the Brisbane Bears. Players, and people say, oh, who do they play this week? Who are they getting beaten by and thrashed by? But maybe we'll be looking at a second side coming out of Brisbane shortly, Sam.
Oh, you've started it now. Well, now, just hang on, Bernie, because they didn't win it. There was another team playing tonight, the West Coast Eagles. Surely that's what good points come out of that.
But full credit. Well, I thought they battled on hard, and they've certainly haven't shown the same sort of form as they showed last year. But they showed a lot of spirit. Maybe they came into the game a little bit underprepared and expecting an easy game up here.
Nothing in the stats as we have a look at those?
No, not a lot, Sandy, as you would expect. 80 to 50, though, in the marks favouring Brisbane, so a little bit of a margin there.
And centre breaks.
Centre breaks certainly favoured West Coast Eagles, even though Darryl White was magnificent in the ruck. They're undermanned in the ruck, but this bloke, he's so mobile and so enthusiastic, and he's keeping out players such as Matt Rendell and Jason Miller, blokes are 6'7" and not mobile. Blokes are probably dinosaurs, as has been mentioned.
Now, quick question before we go any further. With what we've seen in the past 3 weeks, and all commentators are talking about upsets here, upsets there, but because of the way everything has been restructured and with the drafts and everything, when does an upset no longer become an upset? We must be getting near that stage.
Well, I think we are at the moment. We're looking at games every week where the bottom side today, Essendon, well, bottom side on the ladder at this stage of the season, came out and beat last year's premiers. And I think we're looking at something like that every week. I don't think any side can go in and just say that this is an easy win, as maybe the West Coast Eagles came up here and expected an easy game against the Brisbane Bears. They've won 8 on the trot in the past. And certainly it's just a matter of being mentally prepared and mentally alert. And if you're, say, 10% down and the other side is really revved up and having a real go, well, that can make all the difference.
OK, then let's have a quick look, Bernie, at some of the sporting action coming your way on 7. If it's anything like tonight, you're in for Ripper viewing. And, of course, Sports World tomorrow morning, 9 through 12, or if you're in Adelaide, that commences at 8:30. Sports World on 7 every Sunday. Don't miss that. And looking further ahead, the NASCAR and Auscar coming to you from Calder. Now, that will be on Sunday, April 26th, but wherever you may be viewing around Australia, please check your local guides for details. And then we look ahead to the games of the 25th Olympiad. We journey to Barcelona for the Summer Olympic Games, and what a television event that will be, exclusively on 7, commencing on July the 25th, so we certainly hope you can join us for that. Well, it wasn't all bad news for the West Coast Eagles tonight. It was a draw, but the way Bernie was chatting away then, you would have thought the Bears had snuck away to perhaps an exciting win. It was a win, I guess, for both sides. Let's now take a report, however, from Western Australia. In fact, it is on the WAFL.
The teams are in order of how they finished last year. It's no surprise that 3 of the bottom 4 sides have changed coaches. Stan Magro takes over at East Perth, Big Bad Mal Brown is back at South Fremantle, and West Perth have imported Jeff Geeshan from Wodonga, Victoria, who is highly regarded by Eagles coach Mick Malthouse. The signing of colourful football identity Mal Brown has caused the biggest stir among footy fans. The big Mal says he's mellowed and isn't planning any surprises on his return.
Football's a game of emotion. You have to do it on the day, you do it as you see it. I think I've got too old for all that. I don't think I can keep up with the young guys anymore.
Mal has made no secret of the fact that he would like to coach a second AFL team in Perth, and his spot with the Bulldogs is the first step towards that goal. Joining Brown this season are seasoned AFL players Wally Matera and Mark Collins. Collins played with the Sydney Swans last year. Subiaco looks strong on paper, but the trick for coach Hayden Bunton is adjusting to the flow of Eagles players in and out of his side from one week to the next.
We'll probably be this year up and down, not in form, but in personnel because of our Eagles content. We've got 12 on the Eagles squad, and you know, you never know whether you're going to get 6 or 2, or which is the way the game is now.
Perth enjoyed an exciting roller coaster ride into the final 5 last year, and once again there are big expectations for the team.
I think we have a problem from the point of view of overall class. We just have to persevere with the young guys, and I'm quite sure many of those by the end of the year will be doing very well for us.
Claremont, devastated by the loss of nearly half of last year's grand final side to the AFL draft, faced more pre-season drama when club president Lou Much resigned after club officials had gone behind his back to move Eagles and Tigers player Mark Hepburn to another WAFL club. There have been problems throughout last season over how Hepburn should be used by the Tigers when not required by the Eagles. Why has your own club turned their back on you?
I don't know. As I repeat, I don't think there's any animosity there or anything like that. I think it's just a case of my opinion and their opinion.
Former Claremont and Geelong great John O'Connell is the new Tigers president, and Hepburn is now with South Fremantle. Despite their mammoth player losses, Claremont are again tipped as the team to beat. East Perth hope cancer victim Peter Malesso will give their side plenty of inspiration. The former Eagle looks as though he's won his fight against the killer disease and hopes to play for the Royals sometime this season.
Grant Retallick reporting on the changing state of football in the WAFL. No doubt Robert Walls wouldn't be jubilant, but he certainly wouldn't be too disappointed with that performance tonight. Let's hear from him now as he speaks with Bill McDonald.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, Robert, you've been involved with a few wins over your times, a lot of losses. This game tonight for you?
Well, we'll take it as a win, Bill, because I reckon that our blokes, they've never beaten the Eagles before, and you know, the Eagles have been up there in the finals and grand finals for the last couple of years. If you look at it on a pure talent basis, they've got more than us, but I thought our grit and determination and just plain old-fashioned having a go was just great. And there were times when we looked down and out, but they picked themselves up and kept at it. And, you know, I'm very proud of them because when I first came here, you know, a bit over 12 months ago, our goal was to get some respect for the Brisbane Bears. Let's face it, no one's got any respect for the Brisbane Bears. And I think today was the first big step towards having people saying, hey, these blokes are going to have a crack at it. And they did that today.
They finally believe in themselves, do you think?
Oh, well, you know, I think that's gradually been coming through all along. 14 of the 20 players have played less than 20 league games. So, you know, you've got 6 senior blokes and the rest of them are kids learning their trade. And they were just magnificent today, and that'll do their confidence the world of good.
Probably the first game I think I've seen them play in 5 years where they've kept the pressure up for the whole 4 quarters.
Well, they did, didn't they? You know, and I keep looking out there and blokes looked like they were down and out, but, you know, Bainey and Denny Noonan and, you know, the whole back line I thought were terrific the way they hung on. And to see young Windsor kick the goal that drew the game, well, you know, that'll be something he'll remember for a long, long while.
Congratulations, Robert. All the best.
Thank you.
Great win.
Thanks.
Oh, great draw.
Yes, a great win in some sense. Gentlemen, let's have a look now, Bernie, at some of the individual performances. Marcus Ashcroft was knocked from pillar to post, but it didn't stop him.
No, he kept bouncing up, didn't he, Sandy? In 29 possessions, he's kicked 3 goals, 4. A magnificent game against Fitzroy, and again, vying for best on the ground tonight, Marcus Ashcroft. Dean Kemp, and he was very busy around the middle of the ground, 24 and 10. And he was certainly, I'd probably say Dean Kemp was the West Coast best player. David Bain always busy, 21 and 4. He's kicked 1 goal and 1 behind, but gee, he's just all over the ground all night. He never stops running, David Bain. Peter Matera, well, I thought he had not as much influence as you normally would expect from Peter Matera. 21 and 2. He kicked 2 goals in that third quarter, but McCluckie stuck to his guns, and I thought he did a pretty good job on him.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1992 Premiership Season League ladder.
And let's now have a look at the ladder. A couple of hiccups up the top there today. One from Carlton. And the ladder at the moment, the top 6, Collingwood. They've still got to play this weekend. Footscray victorious today. Carlton, Fitzroy, Geelong having the bye, and St Kilda making up the 6. And outside the 6, Sydney, Hawthorn, Essendon, West Coast, Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne, Richmond, and North Melbourne, who went down again today at the bottom of the ladder. Now, we look ahead, because on this Easter weekend, it's certainly a big commitment of football. Tomorrow, Adelaide plays Richmond at Football Park. No doubt, once again, they'll pack the park in for that game, their first look at the Tigers for the year. And then on Monday, Melbourne plays Collingwood at the MCG. They can expect a monster crowd there. And Fitzroy and St Kilda at Princes Park also should draw extremely well, because both of those sides are going well this year. Fitzroy really does have the chance to move up, and so too St Kilda continue on its form from last year. So a few smiles in the Bears room tonight. That's great to see. If you missed the big news, Bernie Quinlan has suggested there'll be a second team coming out of Brisbane. Ponder that while we take a break.
No matter